Yeah. There you go.
Oh, sweet.
All right. New mesoscale discussion for the area. Melissa, check and see if it's on YouTube now. Hopefully she's on YouTube.
I can check right here.
Okay. Yep. It is. Well,
Hold on. It's going to show up here. Yep, it's up.
okay, good. Awesome. Heavy rain just started in Elkins. Heavy rain moving in Prairie Grove. Let's take that Lincoln Weatherbug Network camera and we'll take a look at that here. This is looking already off to the southwest. Let's see what we got. Looks like it's not moving. No, that's moving.
Mm-hmm.
That's not moving.
Yeah, so
We'll take a look
there's
here.
quite a few positive bolts starting to show up on these storms, but like you said, Dan, the reason why we may not be seeing that is because of those low-level clouds
Yeah.
that are streaming. Look at this positive bolt just to the north of Winslow. Maybe an
Ooh,
anvil.
That's a long ways out.
And maybe
Yeah.
an anvil bolt there.
Very muggy and Goshen. Boy, that was a you got to see this.
Yeah,
Look at how far out ahead that bolt was.
Yeah.
So that
Right along
shows you
Interstate
we got
49.
some intense lightning.
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at some Mount
Should I get some-
Sequoia Weatherbug Network camera. Can you take the Graduate Hotel, point it to the
Yeah,
southwest?
I
I think you already have it south. That's already southwest, so we're good there.
All right.
Yep. Golly, there's just not a lot of lightning. Very muggy in Goshen.
Did you read the new mesoscale?
No, I did not.
I just read it.
Okay.
Says developing thunderstorms will likely intensify and pose at least an isolated threat for large hail and severe gusts.
That's just a little south of us.
60% chance of watch probability.
So this is an area that
I just went
Yeah.
through the storms to get on the other side of Interstate 49.
yeah, definitely saw
Get
a
outta
bolt
here.
in East Fayetteville. It's safe to drive from Fayetteville to Springdale around 4:55. This line might be through by then, or then there's an additional line that pops up to the west. So it's kind of like these little isolated cells, and you might have a little bit of a break in between, honestly. Hearing thunder over Washington Regional in Fayetteville. There's some lightning. Finally saw it. So that's the mesoscale discussion. They're talking about some hail, not really mentioning the tornado potential. Let's go back to Mount Sequoia Weatherbug Network camera. You can see the low-level clouds streaming in. So we're doing that. Josh is putting up some kind of setting up the show.
Yep. Just
Okay.
setting up the show. Looking.
Oh no, YouTube, I can't find it.
It was up.
Wind chimes are going crazy. I don't think we aren't here.
It's up, dude.
Oh, I know. We got you. We're watching for sure in the Fort Smith area, but we do have a few isolated storms. Look at that cell that's west of Winslow, southwest of Winslow. That storm's cranking up too. All right, here's a look
there's
at-
quite a bit of positive bolts starting to show up on that storm west of Poto.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Yeah, okay, I see.
intensifying rapidly right now.
Like someone's waiting.
Another isolated cell forming to the west of Mountainburg too.
hearing thunder just off of MLK.
When's it gonna hit?
Hawassi, I know a little more south. Could we check Benton County storms as well?
All right,
Yeah,
I could do that.
we can.
Yeah.
There's really not much as right now in Benton County, so
Yeah, not
kind of focused on more of the area that is more significant. So there's not a lot going on in Benton County. A few isolated cells, some lightning that's popping up. So here's how heating and cooling mega Doppler at 4:30, half hour from live television coverage on KNWA today. There's a cell moving into Fayetteville, Dutch Mills, but just nothing really organized in terms of rotation. That's good news because it's in its initial stages. But boy, look at that updraft. Why doesn't that have more lightning with it? That's really
That is
strange.
really strange. I don't know as well.
I mean, that is an intense updraft. Very, very intense, and yet it doesn't even have a whole lot of lightning with it. That's interesting. Look at the size of
that
those
is a
suckers. Look
monster
at the
storm.
anvil
That's a monster.
of that thing. That's a pretty impressive updraft. Look at this overshooting top that's right there. Ooh, I'm starting to see some structure from our Weatherbug Network camera. All right, let's do, before we look at some cameras, Josh,
Mhm.
here's what we want to look at here. So first of all, the tornado threat is possible, but it's a very small window.
Mhm.
We're going to work our way from north to south for everyone that's watching. Okay. Everybody that's watching, here's what we've got. A lot of storms and severe weather in southwest Missouri. Tornado potential is pretty much non-existent with those storms, but we do have a little bit of areas of rotation that is starting to move out of our weather coverage area. Roby, I don't know if you're on here, but Neosho, Seneca, Goodman, Anderson, you guys are getting a lot of rain and storms. Severe thunderstorm warning, and that includes, as we said, western McDonald County. That goes until 5 a.m. So about another half hour, 27 minutes. Got some storms that are popping up in eastern central Delaware County. Not a whole lot of activity in Washington or Benton County, excuse me. A little bit of isolated cells west of Bentonville, also west of Springdale and Lowell. A little bit of an isolated cell west of Decatur. Now we got some lightning that's rolling into Fayetteville. Lightning has increased on this cell. There's no doubt about that. Here's a look at the Graduate Hotel WeatherBug network camera. And we've been seeing this lightning on the increase. West side of Weddington, starting to hear rain. Just rain, just thunderstorm activity. Again, these thunderstorms are developing right on top of us, so that's good news. But there is an additional line that could be developing and moving in from the west. So far, though, we're okay. This storm is just now organizing. There is a little bit of small hail right now just to the south of Dutch Mills and north of Evansville. So here's a look. So far, just a rough and
Okay.
rumble,
Yeah, I can do
tumble
that.
thunderstorms with some small hail. Yep. So here's a look at the small hail that's between Lincoln and Dutch Mills. Really nothing other than that. That's not really anything to write home about. So we're good so far. We're good. Isolated cells, not really taking off too much. They are still in their initial stages. The tornadic conditions are still possible. I mean, look at those cells. That's they're pretty impressive right there.
We know those parameters are in place.
Yep.
If you've been following
But
last night, you know they are there.
does everything really truly line up, or does the cold front undercut it? That remains a
what-
question.
That's maybe
So
what's
now
happening.
in Crawford County, Natural Dam, north of Fort Smith, we got some heavy rain that's coming into Rena and Figure 5, very close to Figure 5, north of Cedarville, Natural Dam, Lee Creek. That's just a little bit of a small cell. Not any real rotation potential yet if it does develop. We do have some additional cells that are popping up in LaFleur County, and that is some activity that's moving to the northeast as well. Everything's pretty quiet in Sebastian County. That's going to change as additional storms pop up. So far, we're dodging a bullet. Yes, we're getting some noisy storms. Yes, we're getting some lightning. Getting a little bit of activity, obviously a lot of wind. We know the ingredients are in place for severe weather potential. We got some hail on Weddington. There's a report right there. Anything going to rain in Bentonville? Yes, there is additional stuff coming in, but it's kind of taking its time to develop, and we'll see if this line really does mature. That cap really wanting to hold.
Yeah.
That's good.
Strong cap.
Unbelievable, yeah.
That's good.
We do have this storm right here, and this is why it's hailing in Weddington right there. So I'm going to go to our WeatherBug network camera from Mount Sequoia. This is looking due west. See if there's any lightning right now. Small hail on the west side of Fayetteville. We can see it right there. So there's that little bit of, oh yeah, good little shot of the lightning strike there. Nothing really super lowered yet. That's good news. Nothing of structure in terms of these cells. But a couple of supercells that we're going to have to watch as they make their way into Madison County. What's everything looking like? Kind of cap still?
But the cap is still there.
Cap is still there.
So what would be a bad storm motion for these storms?
East,
Because then it would stay ahead of that front.
stay ahead front, and on top of that, it will line up with a critical angle. One little cell in Huntsville, and you see that right here. Josh is using Weather 1, so I'm not able to.
I've got some.
So you're
stuff
fine.
over
You're
there.
fine. I'm good. I can do other stuff.
I've got already some tracks loaded in.
Okay, we're gonna do some tracks. We'll show you what we're talking about here.
Mhm.
With the violent tornado parameter is still way up there.
It's really high.
And we have cells right in the middle of that bullseye.
And yet it's not,
Not
doing
tapping
it.
into the environment. It's too much of a cap.
Wonder what.
Whenever you're ready, we are. I know the earlier that we do this,
Okay.
the less impact it'll have to.
Yeah.
Potential
You can go ahead. Do you want to do that cut in?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Really helpful.
But yeah, just let me. All I gotta do is edit one thing. And
Yeah,
then I'm
no
ready.
problem. Was it
Sorry.
one?
Okay. Now
Yes.
we're getting a lot of lightning.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now we're starting to get a lot of lightning with this cell. So, I could hear the rumbles of thunder too. Starting to see maybe any type of mid-level mezzo. Nope, nothing yet. So that's good. Trying to take. It's going to be a little bit of a noisy one as it comes through Fayetteville. So just to let you know, this might be waking some people up. You might be joining the stream. I can see we have about 900 plus people on here. The reason we're doing this is because the ingredients are there for these storms to ramp up dramatically. And it's better to let you know way ahead of time than instead you're waking up to your roof being ripped off. If, in fact, a storm really does end up putting down something. So that always is a possibility. Starting to see lightning in Cave Springs. We do have a lot of lightning. So we've got some cameras here. Let's look at, we're going to look at this should be having a lot of lightning. And you can see the wind picking up too. This is starting to shake the camera around. This isn't constant, that's for sure. It's not a constant lightning strike, a lightning show. It is a little noisy though. Noisy is better than dangerous. Seligman's okay at the moment. Yeah, there you
There's
go, a
more
little
lightning.
bit more lightning. Lincoln is loud and bright. Yeah, Lincoln is. Let's look at that. So here's a look at Lincoln. That is not Lincoln. That's not working. We're gonna have to bring that up on a different camera. I don't know what's going on with that. Properties. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah.
It's not connecting.
Is it not?
It's down. I think.
Is that what's going on?
I think so.
My goodness. I just called them today too. That's a bummer.
Oh, wait, there it is.
Over there?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. You'll have to bring it up. Actually, you know what? Take that back. I'll be able to bring that up here.
I'm gonna do this.
I know. Okay, you can click off of that now. You can close that. Yeah, I don't.
When you get a chance.
I'm ready.
Honestly, I
I'm
don't.
ready. I'm
I
ready.
don't know what it is.
Cool. No problem.
My NWS chat expired.
Come on, load. Okay, here we go. Lincoln. This will give us a view. So we want to check this storm out from Lincoln because it's literally right over Lincoln. Let me know when you're ready to record, Josh, and I'll be quiet. I mean, you would expect to see a lot. I hear the rumbles of thunder, but I'm not seeing the lightning. This is not anything like the other storms that were tornadic, that were just constant lightning that we were seeing on the iDrive Arkansas cameras. It's just not. It's not the same. It's definitely noisy.
And it's weird because there's a force in, because there's that boundary.
Oh,
It is officially raining outside.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys know
Officially?
that.
oh yeah, downpour, right?
Yeah, hearing some thunder.
Yep. We can hear it as well. That's coming right over Fayetteville, but absolutely no worries about tornado potential. But it kind of lets you know the storms are a little angry right now. What's going on here?
Yeah, it was doing that for me too.
Oh, that was a close bolt. There we go. It's weird. How about Mount Sequoia?
I like that camera.
Yeah, no, I do too. That camera's great. So this will give us a good view of what's going on.
Is that point to southwest?
All right, so we're gonna go back to here. Here's Mount Sequoia's WeatherBug network camera. This is pointed due west. Yep. A little bit of small hail coming into the west side of Prairie Grove here. We're going to bounce back and forth. It was just hailing a tab in Fayetteville. Well, I'm saying right now, there's no worry of tornadoes with these storms. They're not mature enough. Okay. I got to be quiet because Josh is recording something. Now, that had a little structure on that. Did you see
After
that?
stormy start
Bit of a
today
base
here
on
in
that
northwest
storm.
Arkansas and the River Valley, much
Yeah.
cooler and dry weather expected
This
for
had
the
a little
remainder
bit
of
of a
this week.
base.
Good Friday looking A-OK. High temperatures in the upper 60s across this month is common. It's
Yeah.
just
A little bit of
continues
weak
to move.
rotation. Yeah. There is a little bit popping up there. We're going to have to watch that cell. The Osho is getting hammered right now. Yeah, they are. There's a little bit of hail, quarter size hail, a little bit of lightning. Sounds like a war zone. A lot of lightning, that's for sure. That's that instability that we were talking about as it's rolling in. So we're about 1,000 viewers right now that's watching. And again, we're going to be talking about severe weather potential, but I just want to kind of take a look and see if we can catch anything on this lightning.
Oh, a lot of lightning.
Yeah.
Kessler Mountain and North Sequoia.
All right, back to Mega Doppler. Here's this storm. Oh yeah, Kessler Mountain. Which
Yeah,
way is that
I'm gonna
looking?
show that. Does it tell you?
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You have to change it. You just leave it. You're fine.
Hello? Hello?
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be pretty close.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yep, we're just looking at some cameras. Here's the radar. So this is the cell that's moving towards Prairie Grove, south of Prairie Grove. A little bit of a small cell. Rotation isn't quite developed yet. A little bit of weak rotation, a little bit of broad rotation, but there's the cell.
After a stormy start to the day here in
A little
northwest
bit of small
Arkansas
hail
and the
that's
River
coming
Valley,
towards
cooler
Prairie
and dry
Grove.
weather gonna prevail as we go throughout
So
the rest of
Galen,
this
that's
week.
gonna be
High
a little bit
temperatures in the upper
bigger.
60s for your Good Friday. Do have some slight disturbances coming through over the weekend across our area. Watch it very closely, but it doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot of severe weather potential with this, even though we are
Boy,
going to
those
see a
are
warning. So
angry.
we'll continue to keep you posted.
Those
On the
storms are
latest
angry.
information, only a 20% chance of rain Saturday, Easter Sunday, and Monday. You see high temperatures all the way back up into the lower 80s in northwest Arkansas.
I
Next
noticed that
Tuesday,
these lightning
and the
bolts are
River Valley
different
highs
colors.
this weekend will be in the mid to upper 70s.
Mhm. Yeah,
Lower
some
80s.
are
Have a
more
great
recent,
rest of
and
your
others
hump
aren't
day.
as
Dan
recent.
Scott will have the latest information coming up on your news tonight.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring up a whoa. That was some good lightning right there. So we're gonna bring up. I just got to be quiet here for a second. Oh yeah, that cell is
After a stormy start to
cranking
your
up.
hump day here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, cooler and dry weather going to prevail for the remainder of this week. High temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. We'll see a rolling trend as we go into the weekend and some indication that some weak disturbances move through. You
So
see that
this is a cell
20%
that we'd
chance
be
of shower
concerned
activity
about.
Saturday through Monday. High temperatures in the River Valley this weekend will be in the upper 70s and lower 80s by early next Monday. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Dan Scott will have more coming up on the news tonight. Thank you.
Set storm motion from marker. He's a beast.
Man.
How's the show? I know everything comes up pretty fast.
Yeah, so that storm is producing hail and gusty winds.
Yep. This could be getting close to severe potential. Could you track that storm with the
Yes.
area of low rotation? Yes, we will, Bo. We will. There's a look at the cell. So we got initial edge of storms, but something's missing. Rogers is pretty quiet, obviously. Definitely not as noisy as it is in Fayetteville and in Prairie Grove and in Lincoln and West Fork and Brentwood and Winslow. These are the areas that are seeing storms. Whoa. That looks like it almost took out our camera. There is some crazy lightning from Kessler. Watch this. I'm going to go back here. Let's go back to it's kind of hard to work weather too when you're doing this.
Yeah, back and forth.
Yeah. All right. So we'll put these two cameras on the screen. Top one is Mount Sequoia. Bottom one is Kessler. Kessler's kind of right in the storms right now. So we want to show the cameras and we want to show what's happening with the radar so you get an idea for both. Yeah, look at that amount of lightning. Wow. Pretty highly electrified, pretty tall cloud tops too. So lightning has definitely increased quite a bit. The reason why we're not doing storm tracks right now is Josh is setting up his show.
I've got some loaded up.
I could do them on weather too.
I've got some loaded up. If you need them.
Okay, let's go ahead and we'll load them up. So here's a storm track for you.
This one's for Fayetteville.
We'll do future radar too, but honestly, there's no sense doing that because models are pretty terrible. So here's a storm track on that cell. Goshen 458. Also, it's going to be going towards Mayfield 502, Hinesville 508. So let's see if it actually goes that way. Yep, it's kind of right turning a little bit.
Mhm. I did put it a little bit
Yeah.
more this way. Heavy rain near your location.
Yep. Heavy rain.
And I've got another storm track on that southern storm too.
All right, let's do a southern storm in the river valley for the folks, and you can see all the lightning as well on those. And if we look at the Fort Smith Public Library, this is looking off to the south, and well, you can see those low-level winds really increasing.
Wow,
Now
look at
there's
those
the towers right
towers.
there. Can you see any cells forming towards Fort Smith? As a matter of fact, before you even asked, there it is. This is looking south from Fort Smith. These are those cells that Josh just tracked, and that's moving to the northeast. So you can see some of the areas that are going to be impacted from this. Wow. But what I want to do here is I've got to get back to weather too. This is crazy. Look at some of this lightning that's coming from our Kessler WeatherBug network camera. I mean, just some of the flashes are tremendous. Springdale at the moment is quiet, but that's about to change. Is it really pouring in Centerton? Because that is one tiny little cell. If that's pouring in Centerton, that's pretty crazy.
See some moderate showers.
Yeah, just some moderate showers, but if it's pouring, that's definitely a possibility. Look at all that lightning. So the bottom right camera is Kessler, which is basically over the storm. And then you've got Mount Sequoia that's looking west from Fayetteville. So this is Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, for those that are watching maybe out of town or out of the area, pouring in Sonora. Additional storms that are popping up. Well, the good news is, as of now, these are not going to be, at the moment, tornadic. Now, that could change as they get farther east into eastern Washington County. But at the moment, you can tell these storms are angry, but they're just not utilizing that tornado potential yet. In fact, if that changes, we'll let you know. But definitely some hail coming down Prairie Grove. If you guys are in Prairie Grove, let us know if you're getting some hail. So let me know. Light rain on Centerton, Highway 72. Still a strong chance for tornadoes. Possibly, but that cell is starting to move out pretty
It
quick.
kind of looks like the cap is weakening.
Yeah, a little bit to the east.
A little bit.
So if that cap is weakening east of us,
News severe
this is thunderstorm warning, and that might be. Let's see.
That's what
here.
they're in Missouri,
Okay.
Berry County.
Yep. Let's go here. That's a considerable severe thunderstorm warning too. Northern Berry County, just barely clipping our weather coverage area. Yep, Springdale is about to get it too. Josh, how you doing, man?
I'm hanging in there.
You gonna get the show?
Show.
We're 10 minutes
Ready to
away.
go.
No hail in Prairie Grove. I think you're going to get it though, Katie. Small hail, but nothing super big. But I think you will get some hail. It's probably suspended right now just a little bit. Yes, just had hail and a power outage in Prairie Grove. Uh-oh.
That's not
So
good.
that's no good. No bueno there.
Get up on that.
Got the rotation. Starting to develop a little bit of a circulation there on the southeast side of Prairie Grove.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be right here.
Okay, got it.
What's our storm motions? Yeah, we just had a report that there was a power outage in Prairie Grove. Let's see, here's that storm motion. There we go. Let's see here. Trying to develop some low-level rotation. Definitely got a mid-level mezzo. We'll see how this evolves.
That's trouble.
You can see the cell is definitely popping up. Lost internet in Prairie Grove for the last 2 minutes. Should Elkins worry? So Elkins is getting some rain and thunderstorm activity, but at the moment doesn't look like just some noisy storms. Power is back on. It
1,
was
2, 3,
brief.
4, 5,
Okay,
6, 7,
good.
8, 9, 10.
Maybe just a little
I can hear
power
you.
surge. So if we look at Fayetteville's Mount Sequoia looking off to the west. So here's what we're going to be doing, just to let you know. We're going to be bouncing in and out because there's no tornado warnings. We're going to be bouncing in and off of our stream. We'll be streaming kind of a little bit of our newscast, and then we'll come back during commercial breaks. We'll do this kind of interactive weather forecasting and interactive Facebook Live. There will be times where we won't be able to see the comments. So Zach, you just kind of monitor and see if there's anything that we really need to know about. And then what we're going to do is when we get back to the weather forecast, we're going to change the stream, make sure this is on. Okay, we're good there. Even though it was blank, it is. No tornado watch. Tornado watch just issued. All right. There it is. Tornado watch for Benton County. So you got it ahead of me. Tornado watch just issued. So there you go. We got new information there.
Yep.
Been upgraded. Oh, okay. I thought it was stand by for the show. Yep. We can do that.
Oh, can they move the script? Oh, here it is.
It's going to take a little while for that to load, but man, you can tell those storms are angry, can't you?
Very much so.
Oh, yeah. Starting to spin.
Severe thunderstorm chances will continue for our area through the mid to late morning.
Emergency crews say you need to know where to take shelter as we are now in severe weather season. In Fort Smith, every school campus has a safe room for the community to use. Download a weather alert app on your phone that will send you notifications if there's a tornado watch or warning.
The nonprofit is seeing the need
Just
for its
trying to
services
watch
grow in the River
Panic
Valley
for a
after
minute.
being only open for
Why does
a
it do
year.
them two?
This
It still
house
is two
one of
and
the
two.
few
Click
places
on
in
the
the
one.
city offering homelessness services for the LGBTQ plus communities. Currently, there's a
Didn't even
wait
pull
list
up
for
either
people
one.
who are in need of housing. You can help by volunteering or donating items. Just call Jesse's house.
Format Music Festival is
It's not.
returning for a
We'll figure
second
it
year. It combines live music with art and technology. Some of the music artists in this year's lineup include Alanis Morissette and Leon Bridges. It all starts on September 22nd at the Sugar Creek Airstrip. Pre-sale for tickets starts Thursday at 10 in the morning.
For this KNWA news update, be up to date with the weather alerts using our app.
Where is that tornado watch?
It's going to take a little while for it to pop up just because they got to outline the counties.
Can I get another iPad, please?
Yes.
This one's-
There it is.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Tornado watch
For the
till
show.
noon.
Dan, at some point, I would love to hang on the wall. 'cause
Yes.
I got it for Josh.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll flip this back and forth. If I have to do it on there. Cool. Well, we won't do it on there.
Yeah, so a lot going on right now. We still got that tornado watch just issued for Benton, Carroll, Madison, Washington counties through noon today. So gonna have to be watching throughout the morning with these storms. We're not gonna get off coverage until the threat has passed. Another notification. They just expanded that tornado watch. They just expanded that watch.
That's because they issued another one.
Different watch.
This is probably for the other counties.
Yeah, it's for the Little Rock counties.
Yep.
New severe thunderstorm warning. That's for the Fort Smith storm.
I'll stay back here.
New severe thunderstorm warning
Which one
for the Fort Smith storm. That's
Okay.
southeast of Fort Smith near
Okay.
Greenwood. 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail. Crawford, Franklin, LaFleur, and Sebastian counties.
All right. So here's the deal, guys. Like I said, we're going to be doing some weather coverage here, and we're going to be showing what we have on our newscast, and then we're going to kind of bounce back and forth to coverage. Ready to do this song and dance?
Let's go.
All right. We're going to get you through this. Very active lightning. I know this lightning is cranking up. The energy, folks, has arrived. The Baja Blast of the weather system
It's here.
has come here.
It's here.
And now it's kicking in our into our veins as well. So, all right, here's what I'm going to do. Changing the audio. You're going to see a little bit of severe weather coverage, and then we'll be going on to our newscast. So stand by here. Yeah, I'm just going to bring up. I'm just going to bring up weather graphics. All right, stand by.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas community. This is KNWA Today.
Good morning to you all. Welcome into KNWA Today. We have the entire Weather Authority team here this morning as most of our area is under a tornado watch. Let's go ahead and check in now with Dan, Josh, and Zach. A good morning to you all. What do we know now?
Yeah, good morning, guys. It's definitely been a long night as we've been tracking storms, and things have rapidly changed, Josh and Zach. With a tornado watch that was just issued a few minutes ago, we also have severe thunderstorm warnings in southwest Missouri. And the ingredients, you've seen it. You go outside, you feel the mugginess, you feel the warmth, you feel the humidity. And now we've got this tornado conditions that are starting to materialize.
That energy kind of lagged behind the system. The models weren't picking up on that yesterday. Now it's kicked in, and now these thunderstorms are beginning to fire up.
And we are starting to see, the beginning stages of some weak rotation from some of these storms. A lot of storms developing. No tornado warnings at the moment, but we are watching this storm potential that is beginning to ramp up. I'm going to go in front of the radar here, in front of the weather wall, and we're going to show you on Mega Doppler. This is one of those cells that's moving into Fayetteville. A lot of lightning, and we'll show you some of our WeatherBug network cameras throughout the day. And by the way, if you lose power, if you lose the signal due to heavy rain, you can always watch us on our stream. Just go to knwa.com. You can click on the live stream under the weather tab, and we've also got it through Facebook Live and our social media sites. Let's zoom out a little bit, and we'll show you this activity. There's more storms that are going to be moving in, and we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in the River Valley. So a lot going on. Of course, these storm conditions will last as a tornado watch goes until 10 o'clock in the morning. And on Weather One, I know we've got some of these storm reports, and here's a look at the track of this storm as it moves to the northeast. Some of the areas that are going to be impacted: Mulberry, Meg, Ozark, 537. We're going to have a lot more updates throughout the morning. It's definitely going to be a busy one. That's why we're all staffed here. We're ready to go. We got our weather cameras ready to watch the skies, and of course all the reports that are coming in on social media. Back to you, Crystal and Perry.
Thank you very much, Dan. Time now is 5:02. We'll keep checking in with you throughout the morning. Now, for some in Springdale, the risk for tornadoes and severe weather brings back memories as many are still fixing damage from the tornado that struck a little more than a year ago.
The 1-year anniversary was on March 30th, just a day before Little Rock was hit by a tornado. Captain Justin Pinkley with the Springdale Fire Department urges you to have your phone alerts on loud. Download a weather alert app through your phone that will send you notifications if there's a tornado watch or warning. Emergency crews are on standby.
Will we be able to handle with our resources? If we can, we will. If not, we're going to use our resources and we'll start bringing in other resources. And we have those capabilities through the Department of Emergency Management, Washington County.
Be sure to download our Weather Authority app as a second resource. You can also sign up for alerts through the county. Instructions on how to do so are on our website.
Now, if a tornado warning is issued in your area, get to the lowest level of your house. If you don't have a basement, seek shelter in an interior room away from windows, and please cover your head. If you live in a mobile home, you should try to find a nearby storm shelter. On our website, we're showing it to you now, knwa.com, has a list of where these public storm shelters are located. Now, the Red Cross is warning our viewers to make sure you have an emergency kit prepared with things like water, food, and anything you might need to go several days without power. Additionally, avoid using your plumbing during a major storm and try to have a battery-powered or hand crank radio at the ready. In more local news, a nonprofit is seeing the need for its services grow in the River Valley after being only open for a year.
So much so, there's a wait list now for people who need shelter and a safe place to go. Our Kayla Davis is live in studio this morning. Good morning, Kayla. What makes its services unique?
Well, good morning, Crystal and Perry. The nonprofit is called Jesse's House. It's one of the only places in the state offering LGBTQ catered homelessness services. One of the case managers, Samantha Holland, says a recent UCLA study found the LGBTQ plus community is 2 to 4 times more likely to experience homelessness. She says oftentimes it's due to family rejection, domestic violence, or societal seclusion. Jesse's House offers these folks a safe place to live and helps meet their basic needs, such as food and clothes. Holland says the goal is to help those who live there build their resume, find a job, and save up money to live independently.
The people who are supposed to love you unconditionally don't accept you for who you are. So we're really sometimes starting out at the rock bottom when it comes to mental health. Like sometimes you just can't start a job in a week.
Right now, there are 6 people living at Jesse's House, with a handful of people from all over the country on the wait list. Holland says the nonprofit just celebrated its 1-year anniversary, and as a new nonprofit with a growing need, they're always looking for donations and volunteers. In the next half hour, hear about their needs and from a Jesse's House resident about the importance of their program. Live in studio, Kayla Davis, KNWA Today, Northwest Arkansas News.
All right, Kayla, thank you for that report this morning. We do appreciate it.
Time now is 5:05. Let's go ahead and continue our severe weather coverage now with our team. They've been tracking the storm throughout the clock. Josh, we want to go ahead and ask you, you've been looking at the conditions this morning, lots of people planning their commutes. What should they know before they head out?
Well, right now, these storms are very fast moving, right? So they're going to be in and out of the area very quickly. But right now, we're tracking a storm in particular. If we can go right now to weather 1, we can show you that storm that we're tracking right now. This is near the Fayetteville area. Now, there's no warning on it right now, but it does have some signs of rotation. And we're going to pull up Mega Doppler in just a minute. But first, I want to go ahead and put a storm track on there. It's just east of Interstate 49, so it's not going to impact your commute. However, it's going to be rapidly moving to the east-northeast, and that will impact some communities further down the line. So we're looking here on that live Doppler radar, 5:18 a.m. Spring Valley. So that's in about 15 minutes. Again, this storm is rapidly intensifying right now. So it could have a warning on it soon. We're going to continue to watch it very closely because there is some sign of low-level rotation. 5:22 a.m. in War Eagle Mill, 5:40 a.m. Eureka Springs, 5:47 a.m. in Berryville, and 5:59 a.m. in Oak Grove. Again, right now, this storm doesn't have a warning on it, guys. We'll watch it very closely in eastern Washington County for that potential. So we'll continue to keep you posted on that as we go throughout the rest of the morning. Perry and Crystal, I'll send it back over to you.
Even more important to keep that phone on hand and a way to get alerts as we continue to learn more of this story. Josh, thank you for that. Time now is 5:06. We're going to keep an eye out on severe weather rolling through our area. We're going to have more from our weather team coming up after this break.
Plus, what we know about the arraignment of Donald Trump and the criminal charges he's facing this morning.
And here's a look at the Arkansas Lottery, which draws tonight at 9 p.m.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas community. This is KNWA Today. with Crystal Martinez, Perry Elliott Durrani, and your Weather Authority forecast with Josh Rugger. Closed captioning sponsored by Summit Heating and Air.
But all right, guys. So we're continuing to watch these storms. What we were doing is we were running outside and we're looking at a potential wall cloud on this cell that's moving northeast of Fayetteville. It's very, very quick. And so you can hear sound, but we're in the commercial break now. And we were looking outside and we were looking at a storm that had a little bit of a rotation on it on the northeast side of Fayetteville. So this storm trying to develop, I see a little bit of a wall cloud. It's not quite rooted yet. It's not strong enough yet, but this is something that we're definitely going to watch. Lightning is definitely increasing on that cell. And this, if there was a storm that would end up producing, it would be something of those isolated cells as they make their way east. So we got another cluster of storms, perhaps some supercells that will begin to develop. Got some severe weather that's in the river valley. But right now, another line that's popping up to the west.
That'd be the cold front.
What's going on now? What do we have next?
So we have just one track.
Just a tease.
The Bentonville Planning Commission approved the rezoning of property on Central Avenue and Battlefield Boulevard. The land is set to be
You're on
used
top
for
of Whitney
housing and
Mountain.
hotel
That's a good
The
spot.
project would include 500 housing units, a 150-room hotel. Those also includes office and retail space. Nearby residents shared
All right, guys,
concerns that
so
the development could cause
These are
traffic
the cells we're
flooding
watching.
problems.
Kind of in the middle of
Say
our
they listened to
newscast.
that
But
feedback
we're
and
tracking
made
these storms,
accommodations.
and if it goes tornado warm, then we're going to continue to track these. But you could see the lowering, and then you can see how fast the clouds are moving. And then there wasn't any strong rotation at the surface, but you could see some low-hanging clouds. You can see some scud rising up. So you knew the updraft was strengthening. And it was definitely a lowering that came right over northwest
Bentonville
Arkansas,
City
over the
Council is
Fayetteville
expected
area.
to discuss the rezoning at its meeting next Tuesday.
All right, so
It is
now-
5:11. We've got a lot still ahead for you this morning, including around 5:15.
If you're driving
Closer look
on
at former President
I-49,
Trump's
you're fine.
arraignment
The
at the
storms
case's
are
third
beginning to
felony
move
charge.
out, but there
Center
are
back
additional
25, our
storms
Central
to the
Nation team
west.
sat down with the
that are
Diamondbacks head
popping up.
coach
Now,
ahead of
are
their
those ahead of the
matchup with
cold
Ole Miss this weekend.
And throughout the
Did they
show,
make
we
it
have
ahead of
multiple
the
members of
cold
our weather team in
Maybe.
studio with live updates on the storm
There's the
system
front
rolling
right
in
there.
through our area right now.
But first, go ahead and check in with Josh. Josh, people are waking up this morning to a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. What do we know so far?
Right now, we're tracking the storm that's moving through eastern Washington County. Dan and I went outside and we're looking at the storm visually. There is some indication that there is a wall cloud. If we go to weather one here, we can give you a quick track on that thunderstorm. You can see it's east of 49 now, so it's not going to impact travel along Interstate 49. But you get east of there near Highway 412 near Mayfield. It is moving across the highway right now. Cliffy in about 10 minutes. If we go to Mega Doppler real quick, you can see that thunderstorm. A tremendous
Take
amount of
Huntsville,
lightning with
Planet
it right now
West.
to the east of Johnson. We'll continue to keep you posted on the latest information as we go throughout the rest of the morning. Keep it right here. We'll have more weather coming up after a quick break.
Go west. So we got another circulation that's developing west of Goshen. It moved right over Goshen. This is a little bit of a stronger circulation. If we take a look at Mega Doppler, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this circulation here. And you're going to notice there it is showing up just to the south of Goshen. So this is one area that we're going to have to watch as a supercell is beginning to try to develop. It's in its initial stages. You can kind of see that little kidney bean shape. And if we go to our WeatherBug network camera out of Huntsville, we can kind of see this lowering off to the west. So a little bit of a base for the thunderstorm. So we're in between storms on the I-49 corridor. The I-49 corridor is going to be quiet. So if you're doing any traveling there, you saw a cloud around lightning strike too from that cell that's southwest of Hinesville. So if you're doing any traveling on I-49, as Josh just mentioned, you're fine right now.
Yep.
You've got a break. And this is why we can't tell you exactly when the storms are going to be rolling in. But you do have a break right now.
And Highway 412, though, as you're going east towards Clifty, War Eagle, those areas, though, you may be impacted by these thunderstorms.
Now, there's a tornado watch that was issued. If you're just waking up and you're just tuning into our weather coverage, there's a tornado watch that was issued. It goes until 10 o'clock. Now, 10 o'clock is for the eastern sections of the weather coverage area. We're starting to get more cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. Watch this camera.
I'm working on a blog to push out the tornado watch.
Mhm.
I was wondering if there was any graphics you guys could send me pictures of real quick or anything, or where I could get those myself.
Is there any way to capture, like, do you know how to capture the weather graphics from the wall or from the studio at all, or no?
Oh, Envato.
Yeah.
If you go to Envato, as if you're watching our show, then just
Screenshot
screenshot.
yeah.
Then you can right click it
So
and
do
save
you
it
want
to
to
your
kind of
desktop.
tag team here? This 4-minute weather.
Sure we can. What do you all have?
I've got
loaded up?
Mega Doppler, I've got satellite radar, I've got the severe thunderstorm warning. I can make
Okay.
tracks. We can do whatever.
Okay, here's the watch and warning. If you want, I'll put it up here. Hold on. 15 left. Okay, you start it off. I'll export this.
You'll come to 3-shot after. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Track these severe thunderstorms that are moving through northwest Arkansas and the River Valley right now, starting off on High Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. The storm of interest does not have a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning on it right now, but it's just to the northeast of Fayetteville. There is some indication that this thunderstorm in particular is starting to show a little bit of rotation. Dan Scoff and I were just outside watching that storm as it moved through Fayetteville. There was some indication that there was a wall cloud there. Hopefully we can get another WeatherBug camera from Huntsville to see what exactly is going on with those thunderstorms. But you can see now those storms are starting to break out across the area right now, and that was to be expected. However, that energy kind of lagged behind, so these storms are coming in a little bit later than maybe previously anticipated yesterday. You can see those heavier showers and thunderstorms were to the east of the area last night. Now we've got a tornado watch in effect for the entire KNWA coverage area that goes until 12 o'clock p.m. today. So we do have the potential for tornadoes in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley with any thunderstorms that form at ahead of this cold front and can tap into the environment in place. Now, we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northwestern Berry County. That goes until 5:30 a.m. today. We'll continue to watch that storm very closely. There's that storm of interest I was just mentioning, just to the northeast of Fayetteville. And then we also have a severe thunderstorm warning southeast of Fort Smith, clipping Alma and Greenwood as well. This goes until 5:45 a.m. It's for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. However, these storms are out ahead of the front right now, so they can tap into the highly volatile environment that's in place and start spinning up rapidly. So we're going to have to watch these storms very closely. We do have a storm track on that. You can see here at about 5:19 a.m. in Barling, 5:32 a.m. in Island. We're talking about Greenwood. It's right on top of you right now. 5:52 a.m. Ozark, just a little bit further down the line. Again, if you're in these areas that are in Ozark or in Mulberry, I know the storm is a little bit further away. However, it's going to intensify as it continues to move to the northeast. So you got to watch the radar very closely, and we're going to continue to watch that storm very closely as well. We got that storm track on that other storm that's moving just to the east of Interstate 49 now. Clifty at 5:20 a.m. Eureka Springs, you may be impacted by this storm a little bit further down the line at 5:38 a.m., as well as Oak Grove at 5:50 a.m. So again, we're bouncing around all these different thunderstorms, highly electrified storms which is a sign that these storms are beginning to intensify right now. And for good reason. The temperatures are very warm. We're sitting at 74 degrees in Fayetteville, 73 in Harrison, 73 in Bentonville, 76 in Fort Smith. But there's the cold front right there, located just over Tahlequah. And as that continues to transition to the east, the severe weather threat will rapidly end. So we're going to be watching those trends very closely. As long as we got those dew points in the mid to upper 60s, so right around 70 degrees, the fuel for thunderstorms will be in place. So again, this severe weather risk is ever changing. It's rapidly intensifying right now, but it's going to be moving out very quickly. So I know that tornado watch is in effect for our area until noon, but more likely than not, the severe weather risk is going to be moving out of our area by about 8:30, 9 o'clock, at least for most of northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Of course, we're going to be watching this very closely, but the latest model trends do have most of the storm activity moving out by 9 o'clock. Now, taking a look at that 2-day forecast timeline, we are going to see much cooler temperatures arrive as we go throughout the remainder of this week here in northwest Arkansas. Lows tonight will be in the mid to upper 30s, so we don't have to worry about any more severe weather potential as we go throughout the rest of this week. And notice high temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 60s. There is some slight chances for rain as we go throughout Saturday and Eastern Sunday, guys, but not a whole lot of activity expected, at least not severe weather, which is very good because we don't need to see that at all. River Valley high temperatures today in the middle 60s. We'll see a warming trend next week back into the lower 80s. But you saw those storms there, right? You know, again, they're rapidly intensifying. It's a very volatile environment. Sometimes these storms will spin up, then they'll recycle again. Sometimes they'll intensify and produce tornadoes. And that's why we're keeping an eye on the radar right now. And that's why we said to have multiple ways to receive warnings. And we were doing the weather live stream, you know, pretty much all last night. We were here and there was many people that were watching. So definitely looks like we were prepared for this event.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got people waking up this morning, getting ready for work, getting their kids ready for school as they head out the door. What do they need to know? I mean, it sounds like we're at least going to see rain about everywhere.
Yes, pretty much everywhere now, especially when that cold front moves through. Now, once the cold front starts pushing through the area, I think the tornado risk is going to be a little bit lower. It's these thunderstorms that have formed out ahead of it. That's what's going to have the greatest tornado potential. We'll watch those cold front storms very closely for hail and wind, but I do think once that passes, the severe weather risk will be over by about 9, 10 o'clock.
All right, Josh, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Let's move on now to national news this morning. Former President Donald Trump has officially been arraigned. He is pleading not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. The charges stem from alleged hush money payments to an adult film star just before the 2016 election. A grand jury in New York moved to indict him last week. Supporters and opponents crowded the street outside the courthouse Tuesday, including lawmakers on both sides.
We are here to make sure that justice is served and that we push back against hateful rhetoric.
I'm not here for the cameras. I'm here to support the President of the United States, who's being unfairly attacked by a DA.
Well, what happens next could take months as both sides go through the indictment and decide on any pretrial motions. Coming up at 6:40, our Washington correspondent Anna Warnicki will have a deep dive into the next steps.
Well, as the war of aggression in Ukraine continues.
All right, everyone, we're watching an area that's over Hinesville that's starting to rotate, and this is a little bit stronger than all the other circulations. So this is that storm that came through Fayetteville, and this is starting to increase a little bit more and more. This is a little bit concerning, especially with this cell. This is going to be moving towards Clifty, and so this storm, if anything, has the potential to be tornado warned.
Yeah. This southern storm. Yep, that's the one.
And so if we look at our Huntsville Weather Bug Network camera, we can actually see this lightning show that's developing off to the west. And that type of CG, cloud to ground lightning activity, is a little bit of a concern, especially with that potential rotation circulation. Oh, you can see the base too. The base is very low.
National Deep Dish Pizza Day. We wanted to know, what is your favorite style pizza? Do you prefer Chicago deep dish, or
So
maybe that
if
New
there's
York
anything
style
that we're
pizza
watching, it's going to be these storms.
Let's do a track on that.
I guess
I got
I
it.
would
Let's track stuff.
I already shared my answer, but if you'd like to share
We've got to
yours,
track up
please
on one
scan
on
the
one.
QR code on the left side of your screen, or go to nwahomepage.com/poll. We'll be right back.
Okay, guys, here's the track on this storm. Just to let you know, we got a storm that's over Hinesville that's rotating pretty strongly. If it continues to show that sign of increasing rotation, there's a chance that this will go tornado warned.
Yes.
Okay, over Hinesville.
Yep, it's
Over
over
Hinesville.
Hinesville, western Madison County right now.
So here's what we're looking at right now. I think Clifty's going to be in the clear from the rotation right now, based on what I'm seeing on Mega Doppler, Dan. But a little bit.
It's gonna be close.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close. But Clifty,
Yeah.
I think you need to go ahead and take your tornado precautions just in case this storm continues to
Yeah,
intensify.
and it's got a lowering. We
It-
can see the lowering for sure.
Yep.
This is a wrong one here, but here's a look at the track of that storm.
I know there's no tornado warning on it right now.
Yeah,
but
this
we
type of
know-
environment can
Yes.
really ramp up fast.
Yes, and there is some low level rotation there.
Yeah, because this is essentially just to let you know. Oh, you can see the base of the storm right there. Watch. We're gonna take the camera, point to the east. There's just not a whole lot of lightning, but we are going to start to get to a little bit of daylight here
Yes.
in just about an hour or so, and maybe we'll start to get visual more on these storms as they come in during the early morning hours.
That's tightening up.
That's really is tightening up, and
That's
that's
tightening
over
up.
Huntsville right now, Hinesville area. You can see that area of rotation that's beginning to pop up. That is a leading edge of the storm. I wonder what they're saying on that.
I don't see anything right now on that.
And so that's lifting northeastward and headed towards, that is going to be making it towards Clifty. It might be on the very east side of Clifty, but folks in Clifty, definitely be watching for this storm. Things might be ramping up pretty dramatically on this.
100%.
Oh, that's really tightening
That's
up.
tight rotation. I would not be surprised if a tornado warning.
This could be getting prompted to have a warning on it.
I think.
There's a chance that this could be a tornado warning, guys.
Do you think we need to go ahead and interrupt sports coverage?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We'll go on. But if the tornado warning does get issued, we need to go on right away. Okay.
I'm not seeing anything on the AWS chat.
Sure is a lot of lightning.
It's a lot of lightning, and that's an intensifying storm. I mean, that couplet is getting tighter. That's for sure. It's still kind of broad, but man, that's getting tight.
That's pretty tight. Several sands in the Carroll County. Tornado coming on it. Tornado warning coming on it.
Here we go. Tornado warning coming. Okay.
Tornado warning coming. Stand by, guys. We're going to change the audio here. We're about to.
Series finals. Baseball fans remember what happened last June, even if they like it or not. The Rebels knocking out Arkansas at the College World Series and eventually winning their first national title. Welcome into your Pig Trail Nation report. Alyssa Orange alongside Courtney Mims and Mike Irwin with me. And guys, this is the weekend. Arkansas is heading down to Ole Miss to take on the Rebels. This series is always a fun one for me, and the fans get motivated for.
Hi, everyone. We got a brand new tornado warning that is going to be coming out. We've just got word on National Weather Service chat, and this is from the National Weather Service out of Tulsa. This is a storm that we've been literally watching the low-level rotation begin to increase. This is going to be moving towards Clifty. You can see a track on this storm just behind me, and you're going to see that here popping up on the screen here really soon. So what's happening now is the Weather Service is getting together. They're putting the alert out. And what they're doing is they're using what's called WarnGen. It's a product that allows them to draw the polygon on the screen. And so they are in the middle of preparing this.
Tornado warning just came.
And so there it is. Tornado warning as we're tracking this storm, 524. And there you can see that area of circulation. So notice the tornado warning. It's going to be going, by the way, until about 6 o'clock in the morning. So here we are in the early morning hours. We had that tornado potential, and now it looks like it's becoming realized. Until 6:15, you can see that tornado warning occurring. Also, it looks like hail up to the size of $50. So here's what we want to know. Where is this headed and who's getting impacted by this? And I know we have our stream, so if you're watching this on knwa.com, we've got all this information that's being streamed out on our website, knwa.com, also on Facebook. Here's the track of the storm. Let's take it a little bit more to the northeast as it's going to be moving very close to Clifty. Clifty, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. You can see the track of this storm is going to be tracking across northern Madison County, also into areas of Carroll County. So those two counties are going to be included in the tornado warning. Now, we also have Mega Doppler. Mega Doppler is a great source for this area of rotation. And we can actually see this lowering with our WeatherBug Network camera out of Huntsville. And so there's the area of circulation. There's the spin in the storm. That is the rotation. And what you're looking at here are colors. Red, that's rain moving away from the radar. The green colors, rain moving towards. Now we're starting to plot some streets on here. So if you're hearing this and these streets and you're in that area, you are going to be in the path of this storm. This includes northern and northeastern Madison County and central and eastern Carroll County. So here we are at 526, Highway 221. You also have the areas just to the east of Clifty, Alabama. Huntsville is not going to be in the tornado warning. Now here's the deal. You're probably getting the alert on your weather service radio. That's because a part of Madison County is getting clipped, but that is not, in fact, where exactly the warning is. I want to go to our WeatherBug Network camera, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring up Huntsville. And so this is our WeatherBug Network camera out of Huntsville because we do have a view on this storm. It is a little bit of a visual. So let's go to weather, if we can, weather 2. We'll bring up weather 2. And so this is a look at Huntsville, and we can actually control this camera. So we're going to kind of move it over to the right just a little bit as we're able to steer the camera live on the air. So we're going to be taking a look. There's the lowering of this storm that is, in fact, tornado warned. A lot of lightning with this cell. And so every now and then we might get a flash of lightning where we'll be able to see this circulation. And Josh, of course, is tracking it. We want to actually pan just a little bit. There's the lowering. Now you can see how low that was as we're getting a cloud-to-ground lightning strike off in the distance. And this, by the way, is looking to the northwest from the Huntsville Middle School. And so we want to do a 2-box on this. Josh, you're tracking this on Weather 1. We always want to let people know exactly where this is headed, what time it's going to be moving in. And again, this is a radar indicated tornado. This is not a confirmed tornado. There were confirmed tornadoes earlier this evening, or should I say earlier this morning, in northeastern Arkansas. Really nasty ones too, unfortunately, for Ash Flat and areas that were just to the west of Jonesboro. But here's the track, and Josh, take us through that.
Yeah, so right now, again, Clifty is being impacted by the storm. So you already need to be in your tornado shelter right now. The rotation is moving through that area at this current time. 5:37 a.m., Rock House, just a little bit further down the road. This storm is about 10 minutes away from you, so you need to already be taking your tornado precautions immediately. 5:47 a.m., Berryville. This track, if it continues to move to the northeast, is going to go right over you. So you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately as well. The storm is about 10 to 15 minutes away from you. If we go a little bit further down the road here, you see 5:59 a.m., Oak Grove, 6:03 a.m. Blue Eye, and 6:08 Coney Island. I know that's about 30 minutes away from you, but as we've seen, Dan, as you just alluded to, those storms that happen in eastern Arkansas were long track supercells. And these storms that are out ahead of the cold front are going to have that same potential as well.
And there's additional storms that are to the west. In fact, Gravitt's getting hit. Let's go to weather 3. We've got a 4-panel of our cameras, and you can see multiple places that are getting impacted at the same time. So Gravitt and Decatur, a lot of lightning. Bella Vista is pretty quiet right now, but looking at Siloam Springs, you got additional storms that are beginning to move in. So let's go to weather 2 if we can, and we'll look at Mega Doppler. Lightning all around, and there is that tornado warned cell. The rotation has increased. You can kind of see how it has that hook appendage. So the area of rotation, the most dangerous portion of the storm, is right now just directly over Clifty. Let's go ahead and we'll take the lightning off so we can see the cell just a little bit better. We know these storms are highly electrified, but we want to zoom in on this. And when this rotation starts tightening up, we have the capability to see if, in fact, this is producing damage, if it's producing debris on the ground, and it's getting lofted into the air. Clifty, you really need to be definitely taking your tornado precautions. So what you're looking at here is that area of rotation. Let's go ahead and we'll put what we call normalized rotation. So it takes all the guesswork out of where the red and the greens are, and you can see a little bit of weaker rotation. It kind of is pulsing up, maybe strengthening a little bit. And so we're looking at right now weak rotation. We start seeing green, it gets into the stronger level. But remember, the tornado warning can be issued a few minutes ahead of time before that circulation really starts spinning up. Look at the roads on here that you can see that we're plotting on the screen. So it looks like the 1000 block of County Road 532, Madison 1405. If you're hearing these places, these rural areas in northern sections and northeastern sections of Madison County, you need to be definitely taking your tornado precautions. Now we do have our WeatherBug Network camera. I'm going to bring this up full, and we're going to bring up our Huntsville WeatherBug Network camera. So we'll go ahead and let's go to our Weather 3 source again, and we'll take a look at, this is Huntsville Middle School. This is going to be the best look. Obviously, it's still dark. Sometimes the only way to see if there's, in fact, a tornado or a developing tornado besides radar is looking at the circulation and looking at the potential wall cloud. So in between lightning, kind of difficult to do. We'll see if we see any more additional lightning. And again, that storm is traveling to the northeast at about 45 miles an hour. So a little bit of lightning. What I'll do is I'll take the camera. We're probably looking not straight north anymore. So we want to adjust it, move it over just a little bit, and we'll do that here from the Huntsville Middle School. So something to watch for sure as that storm is moving off to the east. And again, yeah, there you go. Now we're looking a little bit more to the northeast, and we might be able to see that lowering of the storm. All right, back to the circulation. It looks like it's kind of in what we call a little bit of a purple haze area. And I know, Josh, you're using different tilts as we're kind of checking out the storm here.
Yes.
And there's a look at those areas that are being impacted. Let's give real quick a wide view. I'm going to be doing this here on Weather 2, and I want to go to our radar. So we've got additional storms that are popping up. We don't just want to be super hyper-focused on that. We've got an additional storm in the River Valley. I know people are watching us on the stream on Facebook Live. And so there is a look at that cell that's east of Fort Smith. And we're going to go ahead, and I'm actually going to zoom in on that as we take a look. Severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. So all these spins in the atmosphere, all this wind shear is kind of leading to this potential for storms to produce tornadoes. 6:15 is that severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag, 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail. We're going to zoom in a little bit more. Cass is included in this. Waterloo, also Ozark, and you got areas that are just to the west of Ozark, including Cecil. Peter Pender, just a little bit to the north, this storm and the circulation, in fact, will be traveling just to the west of Peter Pender. So that's one of the cells that we're watching closely, and that could be an isolated cell. Josh, you got an update?
Dan, I'm looking at Mega Doppler right now, and I know we have a tornado possible tag on that one storm that's in the River Valley, which you were just referring to.
Yes.
I'm looking at Mega Doppler. I'm looking a little bit higher on the radar, and there's some indication that this storm is starting to tighten up a little bit.
Okay, so let's check that out.
Yep.
You can bring that up. I'll bring up Mega Doppler here.
Yep.
And we'll look here at our circulation. And again, these cells are definitely going to have that potential. So
let's go back to Mega Doppler here so we can see that storm on radar there so we can show people what's going on. There it is right there.
Mega Doppler is going to be on Weather 2.
Yes. So what we're looking at right now, we're looking at the lowest tilt, right? So what that means is the radar beam is looking into that storm at the lowest possible angle. So if we go a little bit higher in tilt, Dan, you're going to notice this. There's some areas of rotation that are starting to show up in this storm a little bit higher up.
And it's going to be right in here, southwest of Cecil. I see exactly where that is.
Yes.
So this is a storm that might be in the process of organizing.
And it's got that look.
There's that little appendage. So that's going to be moving northeast. We want to put a track on that. And we could do that on Weather 1. But in the meantime, let's go back to that tornado warning on Weather 2. And we want to just pan Mega Doppler if we can. And we'll bring that up to the north. So there's a look at the tornado warning. There's the track of that. We're going to update you on that tornado possible track. But there's a look at that storm. Some of the areas impacted: Oak Grove, 5:59. So you have a little bit of time, but it is moving to the northeast at about 50 miles an hour. I want to say that's the latest motion of these storms. So tornado warning for another 45 minutes. This is the type of environment that we have. There are additional storms that are not warned, that are knocking on the doorstep, that also have the potential to rotate. Yes, sir.
And that purple haze right now with this cell, but I do think that there is some signs that it is intensified with that tornado warning.
And look, we do have some power outages. A lot of cloudy ground lightning strikes can lead to that. I can't read that number. What is that? About 1,700 customers without power? It looks like 132 members affected. So this is the total amount of customers. Thank you for bringing up those power outages. You can definitely see that impact. Let's go to Weather 3, and we've got a view of that storm that's tornado warned. We want to zoom in on Mega Doppler. So, I see the circulation now.
I'm telling you,
I just saw it. This is developing.
That could be an imminent tornado.
Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
I stepped right in front of it. I'm going to step out of the way. We want to put a 2-box if we can. Let's do Weather 3 so we have a view of that radar. And then we want to have a view fully of the radar where we can see that cell. So let's go ahead and do that here and bring up Weather 2. So we want to bring up Weather 2. There we go. Perfect. Look at that circulation.
There's some
that
circulation
is really
there.
ramping up. Is that the highest tilt or the lowest tilt?
That's at 0.8 because 0.5, a little bit more of that purple haze there. So I went a little bit further up to see that, but you can even see at the lowest tilt that rotation that's tightening up.
All right.
Southwest
so
of Berryville.
That's going to be a northeast view. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the number 2 button. Let's go here back again to our Huntsville WeatherBug Network camera. And we're going to go to a northeast view. So northeast is going to be kind of tough to see because we have those poles in the way, but I'm going to adjust this just a little bit to the west here. See if we can see this storm off of the distance. Yeah, I definitely see that lowering. That's a lower cloud base. And
well defined.
Moving very quickly too. So if you are in northeastern Madison County, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. This storm is tightening up and it looks like it's almost in the process of producing a tornado. Let's take, if we can, weather 2. I know we're bouncing around from different sources. It's dark, unfortunately. There's that circulation really starting to ramp up. We're getting the brighter colors. Red colors, that's rain that's moving away from the radar. Green colors, rain that's moving towards. That is, in fact, your circulation. This might be even in the process of producing. Sounds like our producer was trying to talk to us. Okay, all right, no. So there's a look southwest of Berryville. Berryville, you need to be in a safe place right now.
Yep.
When we talk about safe place, if you're new to this area, this is what you do in a tornado. You duck downstairs, under something, center a house, keep away from windows. This is the acronym. You heard Benton County's Mike Waddle talk about this, and this is an acronym that you can do. You want to get as low as you possibly can. You want to get under something, center of the house, and keep away from windows as this storm is rapidly intensifying. We want to put a track on this because this is a dangerous, dangerous storm. And what are we getting in? Any information updates from NWS chat at all?
They are continuing the tornado warning for Carroll and Madison County. The storm is now, Dan, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. So I updated the storm track to account for that on weather 1. If we want to go to that real quickly here, that way people can know, because I adjusted the storm track because now this storm is beginning to move quicker. So if you're in Berryville, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now.
You don't have much time.
You don't have much time at all.
You have less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
5:45, and keep in mind this storm's already ahead of the radar beam, ahead of where it's located.
Yep.
And we're talking Rock House, very, very strong circulation. We're going to be able to see if this is in fact a tornado on the ground. We would be able to see debris being lofted. I'm keeping an eye on that WeatherBug Network camera too, because that's our only visual. It's such a tough area, especially with our storm spotters. But we might have Cody Hudson, who's located in that area.
And, and looking further down the road here, Dan, Green Forest, Oak Grove. I know Oak Grove right now is a little further away from the storm, but it's moving so fast. Moving at 65 miles per hour. It's going to be right on top of you very quickly. That rotation on radar, Dan, is very concerning.
Have we set the storm motion from
we
the
have,
morning?
I did do that, and it's at the lowest tilt.
That'll tell you exactly what you got. Let's go back to, I want to go to Mega Doppler because I want to analyze this storm because it is really cranking up its rotation. This is just about, it's already crossed into Carroll County. It's moving towards Berryville. You can see this area just to the west. We want to plot some streets on here. We want to let people know exactly where this is headed. Now, unfortunately, it's getting into what we call that purple haze. So it's an area where you have what's called range folding of the radar. It's kind of tough to determine exactly where this is at. Storm's moving really, really quick. We do have additional warnings that are popping up, but Berryville, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. Let's go up one tilt if we can, so we can try to get rid of that purple haze.
There we go.
There's the circulation now, as it continues to come very, very close to the Madison and Carroll County line. Tornado warning goes until 6:15. There's the newest radar update. Again, still kind of difficult to determine how high is the beam as we're looking at that storm when we go to the lowest tilt.
If we go to
going to be around, 5,000 feet?
Actually about 7,000 feet at the lowest
7,000,
tilt.
yeah, even higher. So keep in mind, that's the lowest the radar beam will get, is 7,000 feet. So we're watching that storm closely. Berryville, please get into your safe place. Now, this is also a very rural area, and Charles Peak and I were kind of talking about this. If you live in a mobile home and you are near Berryville, you need to be leaving that for a sturdier structure. You have a little bit of time, but not much. This is where we were talking about ahead of time with these storms rolling in. If you're in a vehicle, you want to get to a sturdy building if you can. if you can't, there's nothing you can do. The storm's right on top of you because it is approaching Berryville quickly. Get out of that vehicle, get into a ditch, or shelter in the vehicle if it's already coming into your way. Get as low as you can, get underneath the windows, and put your seatbelt on. So never shelter under an overpass. We don't have many of those on some of the smaller highways in northeastern Madison County, but some of the major highways and interstates, you do have that. So, all right, so that's a look at that. We wanted to give you kind of some safety tips and some safety information. I want to go back to that. My goodness, is that circulation cranking up? And this looks exactly like some of the other storms that were happening yesterday, or should we say earlier this morning, that were in northeast Arkansas that were considerable tornadoes. They're looking, McKinney, okay, so yeah, maybe even some debris starting to try to show up. So this is some really strong winds, folks. We're talking about probably around 40 to 50 mile an hour winds going this way towards the radar, and you got your radial going away from the radar. There's your circulation, and that's your spin in the atmosphere, and that's exactly where that rotation is located. So right there, that's your rotation. That's your circulation, and that's moving very, very quickly. Trying to get, I got a visual. Okay, let's bring up weather 3. Just saw a cloud-to-ground lightning strike, see a very low cloud base off in the distance. You can see that storm. And some of those CGs that happen that are very low to the ground, that is the base of the storm. Unfortunately, it's moving so quick, there's not much of a view, but you can kind of see that constant lightning in the updraft as we're looking off to the northeast from our Huntsville WeatherBug network camera. Yeah, very, very dangerous storm.
Yeah, very strong rotation. I know northwest of Green Forest, you got a little town called Cisco as well. It looks like the rotation is also within about less than 5 minutes away.
Weather Service chat. They're saying the circulation of the storm moving into Carroll County continues and is moving into the area south of Berryville, and Tor coming for cell in East Madison County.
Okay. All right. So is there another cell coming in? Oh my goodness. Yeah. So we've got another storm that's coming in. There's Eastern Madison County, got another supercell. We got another cell that's going to be moving into Washington County. But okay, so here's what we've got. I'm going to remove that from the screen, that little circle. So there's a circulation that's approaching Weathers. This is going to most likely be a new tornado warning. And Josh is going to be having the track on it. There's the latest warning that's happening for Eastern Madison County. So we got 2 storms that are tornado warned. One that's going to be moving towards Weathers very soon. Kingston, Laura Walden, we know you're watching and you're always on Facebook. We appreciate your definitely your support and your continued partnership, but you are going to be probably a little to the north of this circulation as it tracks. Let's put a motion on there. It looks like it's going to be moving right towards Weathers.
Yes.
So take your tornado precautions. Let's back up it just a little bit, just a couple of frames so I can get an idea for how this is moving. So yeah, moving to the northeast, going to be moving into Weathers. But have you seen the circulation from the other cell? Josh, I got to take control here real quick.
Yep.
Because I've got it. Oh, wow.
That's intensifying rapidly.
Both of these are intensifying. Look at this circulation too. Let's remove those roads. We're going to plot some other roads for that Eastern Madison County storm. But several storms. And we got new storms that are severe warned that are coming into northwestern Washington County, southwestern Benton County. So very, very strong circulation. Let's look at some of the velocity signatures. Probably maybe even a little stronger on that storm to the east of Witter. So here's some chatter. You got an update for us?
Yeah, I do have a new track on that tornado warning. If we want to go to Weather 1 now, so we can see that new track. It's for that cell that's near Weathers. Again, if it continues on this path to the northeast, Dan, it will be impacting Boone County near the Harrison area a little bit later on down the line. But right now, Weathers, you need to be in your tornado shelter now. And same thing in Wither. We also are talking about 6:06 a.m. in Compton, which is in Newton County. That storm is tracking towards that area. That's a little bit further downstream. And again, 6:25 a.m. in Harrison. And these storms, again, Dan, they're in an environment where they can stay tornado warned for an extended period of time. So that's why we're trying to warn people a little bit further down the line as well, because this storm, if it continues on this track, will be moving towards Harrison.
Very, very intense supercells, 2 strong circulations. I can see them on the radar here as we're looking on our weather computer. Let's go ahead and we'll bring back up here, if we can, Mega Doppler. We've got those 2 circulations. Got our computer here so we can monitor different things as well, including our weather bug network camera. So we're kind of looking at all different things. We got multiple storms, and we also have looks like something else is being issued. Josh.
Yeah, I'm looking into that right now.
Yeah, it's Little Rock tornado warning, Boone, Newton County.
Okay, so that's an extension, obviously, to this cell that's going to be traveling northeast, and this is going to be moving into northwestern Newton County and into southwestern Boone County. So that's a national list because the storm motion is so fast. We're going to have multiple tornado warnings being issued for this specific cell. Right now, it looks like it's crossing over Berryville. Why don't we zoom in on that? Boy, that's a strong circulation too. Keep in mind the radar beam's a long ways away from the ground. I mean, we're talking over 7,000 feet. So I know a lot of you are accustomed to looking at, those correlation coefficient drops, which is the debris. If we're seeing that and it's this far away from the radar, we have a very strong tornado on the ground. So right now, some of the roads here, County Road 601, County Road 617, there's your area of circulation as it crosses over. You can see in between Berryville and Green Forest. So it looks like Green Forest just to the east of the circulation.
Yep.
And thankfully, this passed in between Berryville and Green Forest. However, continuing northeast. Remember, get out of a mobile home if you can. The storm's moving quick. We already did a track on that. And then let's pan down to the south. And then we do want to let you know, Washington County, Benton County, you got some storms headed your way too. And the conditions are for a tornado watch. There's weathers. There's the area of circulation that's really ramping up. And we can put on the velocity as well. So there's Madison, 3655. Wow, that is a very strong circulation. That blue right there, those are winds that are absolutely racing into the center of the storm at about 60 to 70 miles an hour, racing towards the radar. And you got those pink colors, 60, 70 miles an hour. So you have about a 100 to 120 mile an hour difference across what we call gate to gate shear. So an intense storm. We can actually see this too if we look at some of these rotation tracks, and we're going to be doing that here when we look at the shear tracks with this storm. So we're looking at a different view here, and you're going to see these storms. There's one of the rotations. You can see how this is pretty persistent. We had one circulation that went over Fayetteville. We literally saw the wall cloud. Here's the other storm as it was tracking just to the southeast of Clifty, and now it's approaching just in between Berryville and Green Forest. See how that has persistent rotation and the circulation. So as you can see, this is going to be moving in between Berryville, Green Forest, across Highway 103 and Highway 62. It just went across Highway 62. So Crystal, Perry, I know you're monitoring power outages. If we start seeing specific areas where there's power outages, and we know that a tornado or at least the damaging winds occurred where this storm knocked down some power lines and caused some power outages. Here's a look at that circulation that's approaching weathers. And that storm system ramped up pretty dramatically. So a couple things on these tornado warnings till 6:15 for eastern Madison County. And then we also have tornado warning going until 6:15. And that's the same thing, too, same warning. All right, so we do have some power outages, and we have more of those. And looks like, all right, War Eagle, Clifty, Eureka Springs. What do you have, 59, or is that the left side of the number? 159. Okay. It just gets cut off on the screen, so it can't see that. Out of 15,000, close to 15,000 customers served, active outages, 4 areas. Keep in mind this can change and this can update quite frequently, but at the moment we have about 160 out.
Hey,
Berryville circulation really ramping up.
Hey, Dan,
Yes.
we need to be watching some of these storms that are arriving in western Washington County right now. I see some notches on the radar.
Okay. QLCS potential.
QLCS
right?
potential is certainly there right now.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. So
2
here we got
areas.
one right there, one right there. So there, by the way, if you're listening, you might be listening on radio. We're probably streaming this coverage on our partner KLRC, also Cumulus radio stations, and we even do KISS 105.3 FM. But KLRC, I know definitely this morning, as you're driving, as you're out and about, we got additional storms rolling in. Let's look at the reflectivity and the velocity on this, and we'll put it kind of side by side. So even though the cold front's moving in, we do have that QLCS potential. These are some pretty healthy cells, and
They
not
are.
only that, but there's also some hail potential. My goodness, there's so much going on. We want to try to cover all of it at once, but severe thunderstorm warning for Washington County, southern Benton County. You got some hail that's going to be moving into just west of Prairie Grove. This is getting towards Lincoln. So I know that we've got our WeatherBug network camera that's pointed to the southwest in Lincoln. We'll be able to see this as it's approaching the Lincoln area. So stand by here as we bring up that WeatherBug network camera. There you see that circulation showing up in Kingston. So a lot of lightning with these cells. It's very noisy morning, isn't it, Josh?
Oh, absolutely,
Zach? Finally, this cap broke.
The energy came in.
Waiting for it and waiting for it. And, we never backed down completely. It was looking like maybe it was going to weaken. But then as we went throughout the overnight hours, as we continued on Facebook Live and live updates, we noticed the models upticking in the amount of precipitation. So,
Dan, this storm that's moving through
Carroll County,
through northeast Carroll County,
rough.
I think there is a tornado on the ground with this.
I think it's very strong,
Yes.
strong circulation. We're not seeing debris, but we are seeing several power outages.
Mhm.
We want to let people know where that's at. So why don't we do a reset here, show everybody what's going on across the area. We're going to give a wide view here, first of all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of pan out. We're going to go on the wide DMA view. So this is our area. Pretty busy, to say the least.
Yes.
So here's what we've got. A cold front that's going to be dropping in. Along the leading edge of the cold front, we've got storms. Ahead of the front, we got isolated supercells. We got a tornado watch that goes until noon, but that is, again, the western side of the watch that will probably expire a little bit quicker. I want to do some quick updates here because we still have that I see the circulation on the corner of my eye. 6:30 a.m., severe thunderstorm warning. This, by the way, as you can see, is radar indicated quarter-size hail. That is going to be tracking towards Salisaw, Fort Smith. It is behind the front, so this probably won't pose tornado potential. Now we got this cell that's starting to fire up. This is a 6:30 a.m. severe thunderstorm warning. That does include Fayetteville, Springdale, Bentonville, Rogers, Centerton, as well as Lincoln, Prairie Grove, along Highway 62, 412, just to the east of Siloam Springs. I already went through Siloam Springs. We were seeing that. This goes until 6:30, and that's quarter-size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Then we got another storm that is severe, and this just popped up just recently, and this is for Franklin County. That goes until 6:15 with a severe thunderstorm warning. We got a severe thunderstorm warning outside of the tornado warning. That goes until 6:15. That is for Boone and Newton County with the potential for damaging winds. And, of course, we got the radar-indicated tornado warning, and that goes until 6:15. Let's get to Mega Doppler. One more. We got one more storm. One more, and this is the one that we want to mention. Boy, look at that cell. You can see how healthy that is. This is the strongest cell out of all of them. Looks like we got a new update here on a tornado warning.
I think that's going to be for that storm that is
northern Boone County.
Northern Boone County. Yep. So it's an extension of that original tornado warning that was in Carroll County.
Notice how it's moving a little more east too. A little bit more of an easterly track. Yeah, we got to show this, and we got to track this. So first of all, you can do the track on Weather One, and Zach, you're monitoring what's going on with all those details. Wow, look at that. That is a very intense circulation. This has got to have a tornado on the ground. I'm imagining this is producing right now. Very strong circulation, about 8,000 feet up above the ground. I want to zoom in on this here. I'll be doing that. Very, very intense circulation. So let's go ahead and we'll zoom in on this. Zach, any updates on NWS chat at all?
Yeah, Dan, the track of that new warning is northeast, 55 miles per hour.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to be doing a new update on that. Oak Grove, there's a circulation. It's just to the southeast of Oak Grove. If we look at that velocity signature, it's pretty intense. These are some very strong winds. What's the height of the beam? About 8,000 now?
Yeah, that's about 8,600 feet.
Man.
Yeah.
9,000 feet. That's the lowest the radar beam gets. That's why storm spotters are so important. And in the meantime, we're also going to keep our eye on the sky on all the storms that are off to the west of us. In fact, why don't we bring up, if we can here real quick, our weather. Let's go ahead with Weather 3, and then we'll do another track. So there's that storm. Look at the lightning. You got Decatur. You got Siloam Springs. You got Bella Vista. All these lightning shows. And then also Gravit. That is the leading edge of that line that looks to be coming in. So we're going to have to watch that as that storm is, in fact, severe warned. So Josh, let me know when you got that track ready.
Yep, track's ready to go.
All right.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and we'll do that. We'll pop that up, and that's going to be on Weather 1. Take us through that track.
Yeah, so 5:56 a.m. Yoakum, you need to be in your tornado shelter now. Storm's right on top of you. The rotation is very strong. There's very likely a tornado on the ground with this storm. 6:11 a.m. in northwestern Benton County. Dan just mentioned this storm could potentially be taking a right turn right now, which means that storm would take a little bit more of an eastern progression. That could impact Omaha, and that's something that we're going to have to watch very closely. That's in about 5 to 10 minutes from now. The storm's moving very rapidly at 55 miles per hour. If you are in Omaha in northwestern Boone County, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. And unfortunately, Dan, looking a little bit more downstream on this tornado warning, you can also see that Branson, Missouri is in the path of this storm as well if it continues on a more northeasterly track. But right now, as you said, Dan, I've noticed this too on radar as well as on WSI, that this storm is starting to take a little bit of a right turn. So Omaha in northwestern Boone County, you need to be in your tornado shelter right now because based on what we're seeing on radar, there could very likely could be a tornado on the ground.
Yeah, and I don't, not only that, but the northwestern Newton County has a tornado vortex signature showing up on it now. Very strong circulations. Look at that rotation.
Wow.
That's what we call a kidney bean shape, mesocyclone, hook echo, bounded weak echo region, you name it with radar. That's definitely it. Let's bring up Weather 3 and we'll show you how active this day is. I'm going to step out of the way. Look at this. We got 16 cameras located all across the area. Lightning in almost all of them. You got the Bentonville Square. There you can see some heavy rain beginning to come down in Fulbright. Kessler Mountain showing lightning. Gravette, Fort Smith Public Library. A lot of cameras showing this active weather that's beginning to move in. My goodness, Ponca, take your tornado precautions immediately. This is a dangerous storm. We might be even seeing debris here shortly.
Yep, I think so as well. And
let's go to Mega Doppler.
Let's go back to Mega Doppler.
Weather 2.
Yep.
We got to take you through this. This is a pretty intense storm right here. So this is a circulation. There's the tornado vortex signature. Starting to even show some blue colors, it looks like. Stoverville, you need to be in your safe place immediately. State Highway 43 north of Ponca. You know this area. If you've ever done the Buffalo River, this is the area where a lot of people camp. I pray to God there aren't people that are camping right now. Not a good idea. I know it was quiet all night, and it was nice and warm and maybe a little windy, but this would be very, very dangerous if you're out in campgrounds because this is a heavily forested area, and it looks like this storm's about to produce, if not already producing a tornado. Fire Tile Road. This is where we want to be looking for power outages too. County Road 133. Now this storm's already probably over Fire Tower Road as it moves northeast really, really quickly. Let's zoom out here a little bit more. And let's go ahead and we'll look at the reflectivity. Let's do a split screen. Let's do the reflectivity and the velocity just so we can see exactly what's going on. There's that area of rotation. Look at the kidney bean shape. It looks like this tornado will be, in fact, missing the Ponca area just barely to the north. But if
Compton,
it right turns.
But Compton, I mean, if you're in Compton, you need to be in your tornado shelter right now.
And what do we mean by a safe place or tornado shelter? Downstairs, under something. It means get underneath pillows, blankets, a mattress. If you're watching us from Compton, please go ahead and get your helmet on, get to your safe place in the center of your house, center of your building. If you live in a mobile home, you're like, I'm going to get in the center of that. Get out of that right now. Terrible idea to be in those. Those are extremely dangerous. Now, hopefully it looks like maybe the last image, it's kind of cycling, weakening just a little bit, still an intense storm. And the other storm too is intense as well. Now, you were talking about that QLCS tornado potential. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look back at that line and see if we can see anything that is a little bit suspicious on that. So thankfully, it looks like just a little bit of gusty winds. I think the front is undercutting these storms. So we're not looking at the tornado potential as much with these cells, but still something to watch.
Absolutely.
We do have some hail coming down though. And, also too, Zach, if you're monitoring some Facebook Live and Crystal and Perry, you could be doing that as well. I know people are going to be asking questions about what's going on. What about my town? What about my location? We're bouncing around from all these different storms. But there's some hail that's going to be coming down just to the west of Lowell and just to the south of Bentonville. This is actually going to be moving into the Bentonville area. Let's go ahead and we'll zoom in and we can give you an idea at some of the neighborhoods that are going to be impacted by this. So Here you go. You have the Bentonville Municipal Airport. Now the hail core, let's go ahead and we'll bring that up on there if we can. And we got our hail indication on Mega Doppler, by the way, just to let you know. So it's looking like maybe quarter size, maybe a little bit larger as this storm is kind of intensifying just a little bit more. So you can see nickel. If we're starting to see some orange, we're looking at quarter size hail. So we've got Creekside. You've got also Brightfield, Willowbrook, Osage Creek, and Fulbright Junior High. Just there not too long ago. Central Park Elementary talking to the kindergarten class. When thunder roars, go indoors, kids. Let's zoom out here just a little bit. There's the Bentonville Municipal Airport now getting hail. And you can let us know, too, if they're receiving that. Cave Springs, that's a little bit of a larger hail core that's beginning to move in. And that's also why that severe storm is warned. So we have this potential for the hail to increase in size. So we're covering a lot of different things as this is going to be moving towards the Cave Springs area. Now, thankfully, if we look at the rotation, there's no associated rotation with these storms. So, I don't see that. Maybe some gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour. We've got what's called a base severe thunderstorm warning. So that's what we're looking at. But two circulations that are very intense. Maybe that Newton County one weakening just a little bit. Are we seeing any type of debris signatures at all? And are we seeing anything on NWS chat? Just nothing.
Not seeing any debris signatures. I'm looking through NW chat right now. No indication that there's been any damage at this time. However, when we were looking at that rotation earlier, Dan, it did look like it was pretty strong. So
yeah, it absolutely
yeah.
was. And we'll know if we start seeing more power outages. Look at that kidney bean shape hook echo right there. Another cell that was popping up out ahead of the line as the energy is beginning to move in. There's a look at that circulation just to the north of Ponca. Let's do another track on this. People are probably wondering where this is going, where it's headed. It's continuing northeast, going to be moving into Boone County. This is something that we're obviously going to be watching. Let's go to the rotation indication. Let's see if it, in fact, that what we call a tornado tracker and on Mega Doppler, still a circulation. Compton, I hope you're in your safe place. Things might be getting kind of quiet right now as the circulation comes right overhead. That's not a good sign. And that doesn't mean the storm's over. And if your ears are popping, you're really close to this storm. That's a possibility, especially with those lower pressures of the tornadoes. Let's, if we can, pan up to the north. And we'll take a look at what's happening with that circulation that's beginning to move towards Omaha. And so our friends in Boone County, we're starting to see the leading edge basically of this storm. And so what we have to do is we have to look at it from Springfield. So you're going to see a different radar pop up on the screen. Now we got a different view of that cell. Branson, it looks like, is going to be at least safe from the tornadic portion of the storm. Definitely getting some rain and thunderstorms, perhaps some golf ball size hail south of Branson. I hope you're not traveling there on 65. I know on Facebook, a lot of people are asking, what about driving? What about traveling this time of the morning? I'm like, you might encounter some storms. There's no doubt about that. And there's a potential that they move in. But there's a look at that cell that's south of Branson. There's the tornado warning part of it on the southern tip. So we can also look at the velocity image from that radar to get an idea of that circulation. There you can see it. Look at the winds that are racing in towards this radar and a little bit of winds moving away. So there's your circulation. There's your essentially your couplet right there located in that region.
So continuing to see good news too on that storm that's going in Boone and Newton County. It does look like the rotation is beginning to broaden out a little bit on that storm. However, I'm looking downstream right now. This storm is taking a track towards Harrison. So if you're in Harrison, I know you're not included in the tornado warning right now. However, I would keep a very close eye on this storm because we've seen them rapidly intensify, Dan, throughout the night. Not even here in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley, but also east of here. And we have those same parameters in place.
Yeah, so there's a new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for the northern edge of this line. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that's going until 6:45. So here we are at 6 o'clock in the morning. And if you're watching, it's KNWA today, and weather's obviously leading the news and pretty much the rest of the morning as these storms are impacting people, dangerous storms as well. The ingredients, the atmosphere is ripe. I hope we get off with no storms and, in terms of damage or significant damage, that would be a blessing in disguise. But, man, this storm system and this atmosphere was absolutely primed for severe weather. It might have taken a while for it to get here, but now we're seeing kind of the essentially all the ingredients coming together. So you're saying that circulation's kind of weak. Look at the additional cells.
I can see right now, Dan, that right when I was saying that, now I'm kind of seeing a cycling with this rotation that's going on near Compton. It's tightening up right over Compton right now.
Let's take a look here because I know people are traveling, traffic cameras as well. So if we can pull up our Weather 3 source, and there you can see all the different cameras and stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to bring up our Pinnacle camera, and there's a look at our Pinnacle. Wait till that connects. Wow, that's some heavy rain coming down. Very, very low visibility as that storm is moving into the Rogers area. Bentonville as well. We've got some of the WeatherBug Network cameras as well. We'll take a look at that one from Fulbright Junior High. So here's a look at Fulbright, looking off to the west. Kind of the storm looks like maybe the cell has already come through Fulbright, and I would agree that's the back edge of the storm. So hopefully that's the end of that. Let's take a look a little bit farther to the east on the Bentonville Square. See what we've got there. So that's looking off to the west. Once this camera connects, a lot of lightning that's out there, and you can see how fast those clouds are moving as well. Now, you were talking about that circulation ramping back up. Let's go to our Mega Doppler source, and where that's going to be on Weather 2, and we'll take a look at that tornado warning. So you can see that circulation just to the southwest of Compton. There it is, starting to increase in colors and intensity again. And so this is the velocity image. Velocity is the way that the rain is moving within the storm, such as the hail, the wind. It's all getting picked up on the Doppler radar. State Highway 43 Compton, there's that circulation that's moving northeast, and that's going to be moving towards County Road 81. And also as it moves into, like we said, let's pan out. Let's show that area in Harrison. Harrison's right in the path of that storm. It's right in the path. Oh, that's, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and call one of our storm spotters. I know we've had Cody Hudson. He's been on the phone all night, last night, this morning, streaming his weather coverage. He's going to be close to the path of this storm. I'm going to see if I can get a visual on him, and maybe he can call into the phone line.
Yes, absolutely. And again, like you were mentioning, Dan, we're looking downstream on this storm right now. So that's why we've got a tornado. We've got a track in place right now so that you can know when this storm is going to arrive. So let's go back to Weather 1 here, because we do have that new track in place before we go to Cody. There it is. So you can see 6:24 a.m. So this storm is moving at about 55 miles per hour, but we've seen this storm rapidly speed up, and that's common with the system like this. So right now it says Harrison at 6:24 a.m. And even though there's not a tornado warning over Harrison, I would go ahead and get into my tornado safe place right now. Interior room, lowest level of the house in Harrison. And with the storm tracking that way, just make sure you're taking your tornado precautions now before that storm begins to move to the northeast. We're also looking at 6:37 a.m. in Zinc, and look at that. Another tornado warning just issued, Dan. And it looks like it's going to be that tornado warning that we just saw.
For Harrison?
For Harrison,
Okay.
yep. So we were just now talking about that. Harrison, you need to go ahead and take your tornado precautions right now. This storm is about 10 to 15 minutes away. And based on the current track, it does look like that rotation is going to go over Harrison. And as well as 6:37 a.m. in Zinc, 6:41 a.m. in Winnington, 6:44 a.m. in Lead Hill, and 6:47 a.m. in Diamond City.
All right. And what's great is we've got Cody Hudson. I was talking about him, and he literally just called in the weather lab. So storm spotters right on the spot. And in fact, we could do this. We could look at Mega Doppler, and we can get his stream. So this is actually his stream right here. You can see the lightning off in the distance. So we got Cody Hudson on the phoner line. Cody, I know you're getting in position, but kind of tell me what the scene is like with this storm moving in and what you're seeing right now. All right, but we're getting them here. You can see all the lightning as well. There's that area of rotation. Look at Compton. This is going to be an amazing view. I'll be able to bring this up full as well to show you what's going on with this cell. But very intense circulation for sure with that storm that's approaching the northern section. Okay, Cody, are you there?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so tell me what you're seeing right now. I know you're kind of getting in position. First of all, tell me where you're at, and boy, I can see the lightning as well. Pretty intense.
Yeah, there was a pretty good CG bolt just now. I'm just south of Jasper at Scenic Point, overlooking the valley here back towards Harrison. And right now, I just see just white cloud to ground lightning. I mean, there's I don't even see no structure. I think there's some it's covered up with rain and whatnot. But I'm from where that cell's at, I'm kind of looking on the leading edge of it. So I haven't, it hasn't quite come out of the mountains per se where I can really see anything. But right now it's just lightning and some, like I said, I can't even really see no structure right now.
And tell me exactly where you're at, where you're positioned. Are you north of Jasper?
South of Jasper.
South of Jasper.
There's a pretty significant, pretty good cloud to ground lightning that's quite frequent.
We can see it.
Cell.
Yeah, absolutely. And that lowering is now just about to cross into Boone County, and the tornado warning has been issued for Harrison. This is making actually a beeline for Harrison. I know that's definitely your stomping ground. So just want to give you a heads up that this could produce a tornado at any time. This is definitely the type of lightning that you deal with the circulation. So go ahead and just kind of continue to monitor, watch it. There's the circulation right there on the screen just to the northeast of Compton. So this is, again, moving into Boone County. Tornado warning also about to expire for northern sections of Newton County. It's already about to cross out, but a lot of lightning. And the lightning, I would say, is increasing in intensity, a sign that you have an intense storm. Man, look at that lightning. This is definitely one of those storms that has tornado producing capabilities. So, Cody, are you seeing any visual on the lowering at all, or would you be able to see that?
Yeah, I probably could, because like I said, it's just there's a mountain to my left on on my stream there, so anything would be kind of covered up by that. But once it moves close towards Harrison, it comes out from Compton there, I'll be able to definitely see it because the terrain flattens out back towards Harrison. But right now I can't see it just yet, and the lightning's somewhat illuminating it. I can see it back off in the distance there, but right now I can't quite see anything yet. But I'm gonna sit here for a minute and keep an eye on it, and might move a little bit north further up towards Harrison.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I don't know how quick you could get to Harrison as well, just to kind of follow the storm. That was a really impressive cloudy ground lightning strike right there. All the high spots, where to spot. This is definitely your stomping grounds. That storm looks like you could just reach out and touch it. It's on the north side of that, like you said, that mountain range, and beginning to move northeast. So Harrison, take your tornado precautions. Let's go ahead, and we're going to keep you on the phone, Cody, if that's okay. And you just kind of pop in. If you got something, if you see something of importance, we definitely don't want to lose you, because you would be our eyes and ears out in the field to track this storm. So let's go back to, if we can, and do a storm track on this. We want to let people know, especially in Boone County. Now, I know Boone County doesn't technically get picked up by us with satellite, with cable, but we know some people that can pick us up on antenna. We also know people that watch on our stream. And so, cloudy ground lightning strike right there. And that's kind of a sign that the storm is definitely intensifying. Maybe a little bit of a lowering view right there. I think maybe we got to see that. Yeah, there's that storm. So let's go ahead, if we can, on weather one. Josh, take us through a little storm track on this.
Yeah, so we've got that new storm track in place right now. And again, that storm is just to the northeast of Compton. It moved through that area, but it's taking that track towards Harrison. We talked about that about 5 to 10 minutes ago, that this storm is rapidly intensifying and moving towards Harrison at about 55 miles per hour. You've got about 5 to 10 minutes before it's right over you. So you need to be taking your tornado precaution now if you haven't done so already. Lowest floor in the interior room, that's where you're going to want to be in terms of taking those tornado precautions if you don't have a storm shelter. 6:38 a.m. as well in Zinc. We're going to be watching that storm very closely in about 20 minutes there. 6:44 a.m. South Lead Hill. Also, we're looking at Bregman, Dan, which is not, I know it's not showing up on that tornado track, but that's along State Highway 7 going northeast from Harrison. If that storm continues to take that track to the northeast, it'll be arriving in Bregman in about 20 to 30 minutes. So Bregman, you need to be taking your tornado precautions now as this storm is moving through Boone County. But Harrison, Dan, definitely under the gun at this current time.
Yeah, Bergman definitely in the path of that storm for sure. So you definitely got to watch out of that. Cody, we can see the lightning. I actually got a view of the visual of the base from your stream. Let's go ahead and we bring that up and go to weather 2. This is a look at Cody Hudson's stream. If you're still on the phone or line, I know you're sitting there. Are you seeing anything new now with that lowering?
Not yet. Like I said, it's the lightning that's back off in the distance, that strike that just it was right there, but I know there's going to be about a delay on the stream. But
Yeah.
it's not frequent enough I can't see anything just yet.
Yeah, let me step out of the way so people can see as well. I was standing right in front of it in case there is a shot of the lowering. This is very, very close to Harrison. I would say that storm's a little far away from you. You're probably, I would say maybe about 8 miles away?
Yeah, hang on. I could tell you exactly how far away I am. I've
Okay.
got my little thing here.
All right, let's take a look here.
It's about 12 miles. I'm about 12 miles from that storm.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes that's a little bit far to get a visual, especially if it's rain wrapped, which is a possibility.
Yeah, it's definitely got some. It's going to be rain wrapped because I can just see that ominous kind of curtain looking texture to the storm, and if it was going to have anything on it, it's probably most likely going to be rain wrapped. But and I think it might be just coming in the view just now for me. But
Okay.
yeah, so the lightning's not frequent enough to really tell right now.
Why don't you go ahead and I think you'll be able to head north if you can. Maybe keep up with it. It is moving pretty quick, but maybe you can see if it ever is touching down as it gets into Harrison. But circulation's still showing up. Go ahead.
It'll take me about roughly 35 minutes to get there from my position.
Okay, the storm's going to outrun you a little bit, but
yeah, that's why I kind of want to stay here for it because that's why a lot of people who are watching have been to Jasper, and they know how curvy and hilly these roads are down here.
Yeah, you'll lose sight of it for sure. So I don't know if anything touches down, if you would be able to see any type of power flashes from that type of distance, but maybe you can. We'll hopefully we don't see any power flashes. That means something's on the ground. We have a new warning that came out, just happened. So that was Cody Hudson, one of our storm spotters. He's tracking this storm as it's approaching the Harrison area in southwestern Boone County. I do want to go ahead and it looks like he's on the move just to kind of get a little bit of a better visual. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look here. There you see him on the move. I want to bring up Mega Doppler again, and we'll bring up Mega Doppler with this stream. There's that area of rotation still showing up, pretty intense. Josh, definitely a sign that we got a nasty storm. Might want to take the Mega Doppler and just pan it to the left just a little bit because we got a stream. We're going to the right. We're kind of covering it up with the live stream. So yeah, there you go. You got some of the roads that are on there. You can read those as well. Herb Terry Road, it looks like. Also Blackshire. This is knocking on your doorstep. It's over you. That's how the fastest storm is moving. Just about to move into Highway 62. Harrison is in the path of this storm. Definitely a strong circulation with a tornado warning that goes. How's that? Well, how long did that go? Till 6?
That goes until 6:45 a.m.
6:45. Okay, long time. We had additional severe thunderstorm warnings. We're kind of staying hyper focused, but that's the reason we had a great visual on that storm. I want to get a wide view again here. We continue to keep Cody on the line, but I'm going to bounce around here. We're going to take a look at some additional severe thunderstorm warnings. We're about to see them moving into Fayetteville. So here's what we need to do. We'll bring up a 4-panel here. Let's go ahead and we'll bring up our WeatherBug Network camera. So this is looking in Benton County. Everything's kind of quiet right now, but we'll do a different 4-panel here. This is Lincoln, Fayetteville. Also, it looks like Huntsville again, as that's kind of pointing off to the east. So a lot of lightning moving in, additional storms, any type of tornado potential with these. Let's see how that kind of pans out as we look at some of the circulation. So just be monitoring that. I'll take you through the different warnings, and I'll let you know what's coming your way. So if you're out and about, you're traveling this morning. Okay, all right.
It looks like there is some traffic slowing down on I-49, Dan.
Okay.
Looking at iDrive Arkansas right now.
Those storms are moving right through there.
Yeah, we can definitely bring that up. Traffic slowing down because that's some really heavy rain, really coming down. So how many power outages was that located right now? And what provider was that from? Do we know? Okay, Ozarks Electric. That's what I thought it looked like. Ozarks Electric outage map. So looking at some lightning off of the distance, let's go back to weather 2. We'll bounce away from weather 3 for a brief minute. And we got weather 2. And we've got this severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 6:30, 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail. We also have a storm that's approaching the river valley. But again, this looks to be on the front or behind the front. So what does that mean? Cold air is undercutting these storms. It's what we call undercut. In fact, you can see that gust front, that outflow boundary. That means the tornado potential is minimal. unless it races out ahead of that boundary. This goes until 7 o'clock, severe thunderstorm warning, quarter-size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. We also have a cell that's developing near Poto and Worcester. But overall, that's beginning to wind down western Benton County, western Washington County. You can breathe a sigh of relief. The severe weather threat's done. So that's good news. No more storms are going to develop. Ahead of that line, though, we do have some additional cells that are popping up. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this is one of the reasons the traffic is backing up. So this is mile marker 80, and you can see emergency vehicles. Here's your traffic update. That's a mess right there. And there's a little bit of an accident looking like on the shoulder, on the right shoulder, backing up traffic. And is this looking southbound? We'll have to find out. Don't know. But right.
That's
okay,
northbound.
so looking northbound, mile marker 80. It's kind of tough to see with all the haze and the fog. Harrison, that circulation, folks, we've been telling you about that. And I don't know if we still have Cody on the line. Of course, he's winding through the hills right now, but Harrison really needs to be taking their tornado precautions. So what we're going to do here real quick is we're going to walk down that line. There's that heavy rain that's coming down. There was already heavy rain that moved through mile marker 80, which is where you saw that iDrive Arkansas camera. We got severe thunderstorm warnings for eastern Benton, as well as Carroll County and northern Madison County. Clifty, another storm just to your south. But now we got to focus on this Harrison storm and look at the circulation on Mega Doppler. So we'll take a look here at Mega Doppler. There
Dan,
it
I'm
is.
still here. I'm
Yeah,
gonna move north. The lightning. It looked like the circulation's kind of picked up for a little bit, but now
You're
it's not
saying
as
it picked up a little bit?
frequent as it was. I'm sorry.
Pardon me. You said it picked up a little bit?
No, it looked like the circulation had picked up just a little bit. I mean, it's kind of on that that little fringe area, but the lightning has kind of mellowed out. It's definitely not as frequent as it was a little bit ago.
The chance you're a little bit behind the storm too, so that you're kind of looking into cloud debris. It's not out of the
looking
question.
through the thick of it all.
Yeah, not out of the question, but there still is a pretty intense circulation. If we look at the velocity signature too, you're going to be able to see that.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah, we're a ways away from the radar, and it's still showing that tight rotation. So you got rain that's moving away from the radar, hydrometeors, if you will, that are moving away from the radar, because it's not all rain. It's probably some hail mixed in there as well. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the precipitation, hydrometeors that are going towards the radar. Again, the radar is located in Fort Smith. But if we look at a different view on this cell, it'll give you an idea what it's looking like here from Springfield. So what we're going to do is bring up a velocity image from the Springfield area. And definitely see kind of a tight circulation, no doubt about that, that's showing up. So that's on the live radar winds right there with that cell.
Dan, I may lose you here in just a minute once I get into Jasper. That AT&T does not have any service, so you'll lose me in my stream for just a little bit until I get it back up and running.
That's fine. Just call back in. Also, let us know if you encounter any type of damage southwest of Harrison as this storm approach, because you'll be the first to know. In fact, if this did touch down.
I'll definitely give you a call back and let you know.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that.
So,
you're welcome.
Go ahead.
Dan, I'm going to go ahead and say this. If you are in Benton County, along and west of Interstate 49, you're all clear. Severe weather potential is over.
All right. Oh, I can hear it coming down. It sounds like it's hailing outside right now, right over northwest Arkansas, right over the Fayetteville area. But west of I-49, all done. 6:45, tornado warning goes. Bergman, Harmony, those areas. Bellefonte, it's a little bit to the southeast of that circulation. This is definitely a cell you got to be watching out for, but we can hear hail. I can hear it coming down. Sounds like it's about.
I'm telling Kayla to go outside to see if she can get some video for
Yeah,
us.
yeah. I appreciate that. Crystal, you have any updates that you want to update us with?
Yeah, we're looking at
Crystal and
traffic
Perry?
right now. So keeping an eye on that accident on mile marker 80 northbound on I-49 in the Bentonville area. I've reached out to some people on Facebook now that Benton County is in the clear to send in some photos. Had a few viewers to say they saw hail in Cave Springs and Rogers, but I think right now that traffic commute is the main focus this morning. Just please be careful out there because we are still seeing intense rainfall.
Yeah, you can hear it outside of our studio. Westward driven rain. Thankfully, though, the tornado potential is not looking all that intense for our area. Now, farther east, where those isolated cells are, definitely the case. We can bring up some iDrive Arkansas cameras In fact, exit 62, we can bring that up on the Prod PC north of Fayetteville as well. Some of the interchanges close to Washington Regional. Those are areas that are getting an absolute downpour right now as the storm is continuing to move east, even with a little bit of small hail. So see if there's any other additional accidents. Hopefully not, but I guarantee heavy rain, hydroplaning, people driving really fast. So here is a look at one of those. It looks like this is close to Arvest. Yep. Okay, so this is 62 right here, and this is the beginning stages of that rain that's might even move out at that area already. So if we go south, and you can kind of see some of the other weather bug cameras and our iDrive Arkansas cameras too that are showing that heavy rain. So definitely something that we're watching here. Let's go to Mount Sequoia. You can really see the rain coming down, and we're going to do this as we go to Weather 3 if we can. Looks like we lost our Lincoln camera. Sometimes lightning happens, but that is some really heavy rain that's coming down on the Fayetteville area. You can see the winds picking up as well. Definitely some issues. Zach, if you want to close out of that system alarm on Weather 3, if you can, just kind of bring that up, close that system alarm out. It just shows you the camera kind of lost connection there briefly, but heavy rain coming down. But again, that circulation that's headed towards the Harrison area now moving northeast of Harrison. Tornado warning goes until 6:45. That is going to be our last tornado warning. And here we are approaching close to the end of the KNWA Today newscast. That was basically all weather coverage, but rightfully so. We've had some pretty intense storms, tornado warned storms, possibly some touchdowns too. We just don't know that at this point, but we continue to watch it. Josh, you want to do another track, and we can even track this line too?
Yes, I got one already up right now, actually, on Weather 1. If we can go ahead and pull that up right now, you can see that track. Again, most of these storms are moving to the east at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. So areas east of Interstate 49 that got impacted by some of these supercells earlier are going to see this line move through. The good news is that the tornado potential is going to be very, very low to none with these cells because of that cold front that's overtaking these thunderstorms. So you're seeing a few cells that are moving through the Poto area right now in LaFleur County. Also Fort Smith about to be impacted by one of those cells along Interstate 40. That's going to happen in about 10 to 15 minutes. St. Paul at 7:04 a.m., 7:23 a.m., Charleston, 7:31 a.m., Harrison. So I know Harrison right now, Dan, that supercell is moving through. It's about to push out of Boone County. It looks like that tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire, it looks like, based on what I'm seeing on radar here. But there is going to be that line of storms that moves through. The good news is the tornado potential will be much lower with that. So Harrison at about 7:31 a.m. in about an hour, you can expect these thunderstorms to impact you. Far eastern portions of the coverage area, 7:51. Clarksville, you'll have one more round of showers and thunderstorms moving through. And then, of course, at 8:01 a.m., Bull Shoals. But again, this is along the line of storms, Dan, as you just mentioned. The cold front has already overtaken these storms, so the tornado potential is very, very, very low. We never want to say none, but it's extremely low.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing we were talking about on the Facebook Live, the lot of weather updates, that cold front undercutting the storms. That's exactly what we're seeing. But there were some isolated cells that popped out ahead of it. The warmth, the humidity, all those ingredients coming together. We still have that tornado warning, though, for about another 15 minutes or so. We're 6:45. Here we are close to approaching the bottom half of the hour, 6:30. And you got quarter-size hail. It looks like the cell's about to move out of Boone County and then is going to be moving into Little Rock television coverage area. This is also Springfield, too. Springfield and Little Rock both cover Boone County. Like I said, though, it is a storm. We had Cody Hudson, and we also have several people that do pick up our signal in Boone County. So that's why we kind of included it in our weather coverage area. Branson had a tornado warning just to the east of Branson now, thankfully. So that's moving out. Looks like we got another update here coming out.
That's going to be with that Boone County storm. Looks like NWS Little Rock just said they're going to draw another tornado warning there. So we're pulling that up right now.
So that is going to extend farther to the northeast. That's going to clip the very eastern sections of Boone County. And then it moves into Marion County. So you got Marion, Baxter just a little bit to the east of Marion County. Yeah, that storm's going to be moving northeast. It's an intense storm. And wouldn't doubt if it did produce a tornado briefly. If we are seeing any power outages, let us know too. You can go to poweroutage.us, see if some of the counties that are, such as Boone County, Newton County, Madison County, where that storm tracked as well as southeastern Carroll County. You can see that. So this is one, I don't know if you know, this is one power outage map. If you go to poweroutage.us, it kind of combines all those. But yeah, this is OG&E right here, Eureka Springs, War Eagle, Kingston, some power outages. How many does it say? I don't see any legend on there. 400 customers without power. A little bit of a rude awakening to your hump day right now.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, so additional cells. So new tornado warning in eastern Boone County, 631. We got additional storms that are popping up across Washington County, Carroll County, and one storm too that we're watching too in the River Valley that's going to be approaching Fort Smith. I was looking at our WeatherBug network camera west of Fort Smith. Didn't see a whole lot of lightning at the moment. It doesn't mean that can intensify, but again, the tornado potential is very low with that.
Yes, with that cold front, that cold front, as you mentioned before, that's undertaking these storms.
So in fact, we can we could do this right here. This is where the cold front is, a little bit farther east of that.
Yep.
So the cold front is kind of marching east, and what it is it's undercutting those storms. So if we were to draw it, we'd probably put it right about there.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how those cells are out ahead of the cold front. There's that storm east of Branson, this tornado one. Those are the individual supercells. Hopefully these don't take over as well. But yeah, hopefully we dodged a bullet with no tornado, because some of those circulations are pretty intense there for a little while.
Absolutely.
Looks like the new tornado warning has taken over, and they're cropping out that warning goes until 6:45. So that's starting to move out. So maybe the severe weather coverage is starting to wind down. That would be great news. And hopefully not a lot happening. Let's go to that iDrive Arkansas camera. Do we still have that accident issue? And Crystal, you can kind of give us some more information if you're ready on that.
Yeah, definitely.
We
can pull up that camera. You can see here on your screen, it is reported at exit 81. That's around the Rogers area southbound. I know it's hard to tell because it's so dark outside. Looks like it's impacting the right shoulder, but traffic definitely backing up. And that is a busy area. It's when I drive through every day. So I know you've got people driving into Fayetteville from Bentonville with your morning commute impacted. So please be careful out there.
And we're going ahead and monitoring all the local departments, first responders. We haven't seen many posts from them yet, but of course, as they do develop over the course of the morning, as the sun comes up and we see whether any damage was caused overnight, obviously with those winds that y'all were tracking, we are expecting to see something along those lines. So we'll keep updating you guys as we get that information.
And Dan, I want to ask you too, I know people are getting ready to start their day, getting the kids ready for school. I mean, it sounds like we still want to keep those umbrellas packed today and just take it easy out there. What other threats are we expecting this morning?
So things are going to be winding down as that front moves in. So Josh and I were kind of looking at that, and once that back edge of the line moves out, that's pretty much it. And the thing you want to pack is your jacket, because it's going to be a lot chillier than it was yesterday. People kind of laying out in the sun, which, we had a little bit of sun. 2 days ago, we were in the mid 80s. It was really warm and humid. And then here's the result of all that warm weather this time of the year. But the back edge of the line, just to let you know, the rain is done now. Pretty much Fayetteville all the way up to I-49. This is the last bit of the system. That's it. So flooding threat really wasn't an issue. As we mentioned, a little bit of hail. Thankfully, the massive hail didn't come to fruition. And one of the reasons for that, Crystal, is that the energy just kind of lagged back just a little bit. It wasn't quite there where it moved in all when it needed to, in order to produce the more significant severe weather, because early this morning we had the ingredients that were in place, but everything just kind of slowly developed. So that was definitely dodging a bullet. Now, to our east, the areas to our east, I want to show you something here. This wasn't good. There was some significant tornado potential, and those are those isolated cells. And one cell in particular had multiple tornado warnings as it continued northeast. And we're talking some pretty substantial tornadoes too. In fact, if we go to, we're going to stop this loop here real fast. And I'm going to go ahead, and here you see some of the tornado warnings. Those white outlines, by the way, those were significant tornadoes and strong circulation. So you can see how we definitely dodged a bullet. These were, in fact, damage reports that were coming out, and there have been reports, very large tornadoes too, considerable. That's that white outline that you see. So it's been an active morning for sure. As you can see, 2:30, we were streaming the whole thing, and then there's that line that was developing, as you'll see here, as we move along in time, additional cells popping up out ahead of it, and then the storm coming to an end. But we do want to give you your 7-day forecast, and so I'm going to send it on back to you for a couple weather updates. I know Josh is monitoring these storms. Storms about to move out of Boone County. That's going to be the last of our tornado warning, and we'll go ahead and give you that 7-day forecast.
Yeah, absolutely. We can pull it up right now. I'm going to pull up my graphics because I switched it to severe weather coverage. But again, we talked about, Dan, behind this front, cooler and dry weather is going to prevail. Once that front moves through, we're going to see those temperatures fall off briefly this morning. High temperatures today are going to be in the middle 60s here in northwest Arkansas. We're going to see low temperatures overnight tonight fall near freezing in some locations here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. So definitely that's why we said, don't have plants out until late April, because sometimes when these systems push through, the colder air could come in. Not expecting a freeze or anything like that with the colder air that's coming in later on tonight into the next few days. But we have that 7-day forecast already pulled up right now. If we can go ahead and go to Weather One, there it is right there. And you can see, again, high temperatures this week are going to be absolutely fantastic in the middle to upper 60s. Great day to get outside. Great day to get out and do some outdoor activities. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, as we head into the Easter weekend and the Eastern holiday, it does look like we are going to see maybe some weak disturbances moving through northwest Arkansas, and nothing major expected with that at all. We'll continue to keep you posted on that. There is a little bit of uncertainty with the models right now in terms of which day is going to have the greatest chance for rainfall. But you notice that warming trend next week? Don't fret. It doesn't look like we're going to have severe weather potential at all as we go into the rest of this week, even though temperatures are going to go into the upper 70s to lower 80s. So we'll continue to monitor those things. But after the storm system passes, it's going to be a beautiful week. In the River Valley as well, high temperatures in the middle to upper 60s as we go throughout Wednesday, Thursday, into Good Friday. Look at that weekend, also looking fantastic despite a few spotty rain chances. Highs in the upper 70s for Easter Sunday, right around 80 degrees on Monday, and then we'll be in the lower 80s for Tuesday. So definitely looking like a good rest of the week here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end severe weather coverage. We'll be right back after a quick break. Yep.
Okay.
Hey there, guys. So we just now dropped out of severe weather coverage live on air. It does look like the tornado potential is winding down across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We still got severe thunderstorms, obviously. As we take a look at Mega Doppler real quick.
Moving out of Boone County, too. So that's why we don't cover even farther east, Marion County. That is definitely Little Rock television.
Yeah.
So, but there's a look at that cell that's moving towards Peel, and it still has some rotation.
I see this comment right here. It says we still have a tornado watch until noon. Delmy, because this cold front is crashing in, as you saw at the tail end of our severe weather coverage there, because that cold front is undertaking those storms, it does look like the tornado potential is very, very low. So I do expect that they're going to allow that tornado watch to either expire or start chopping out counties.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, let's see if that is in fact taking place. I don't think it's happened yet. I know we have a storm in the River Valley too that we're going to watch. It's not as intense. There's no doubt about that. It has a little bit of small hail, some gusty winds potentially, but there's a look at that severe thunderstorm warning. Goes until 7 o'clock in the morning. So just a few more minutes. There will be some rain. There will be some lightning that comes into areas of the River Valley, but we're not abandoning ship. We're just not doing wall-to-wall severe weather coverage anymore. Here we go. Oh, okay, so we'll have. So Delma, let me know where you're at. What exactly? Where exactly is your area? Okay, we're coming back out to the newscast. So.
The weather team continues to follow severe thunderstorm chances, though they do appear to be leaving our immediate coverage.
Yeah, and thank you for
Good night.
sticking with us all
Bye-bye.
morning long. We appreciate our weather authority team and
You're
everything
done,
they've done to keep you
Delmar.
safe. However, we are still in severe
over.
weather season, so emergency crews say you need to know
That's
where
it.
to take shelter because a chance like this could happen again.
Now, River
Now, in
Valley.
Portsmouth, every school campus has a safe room for the community to use. Be sure to download
Roger's
a weather
done.
alert app on your phone that will send you notifications if there's a tornado watch or warning, and I know those are going off this morning.
Absolutely, and a nonprofit
Can you have a
seeking
really
the
extended
need for
weather?
its
Because I can do
services grow
Yeah,
as
that's it.
its services grow.
Do you want me to
River
do
Valley,
radar?
After being open
Oh,
for
yeah, we
only
do
a year,
radar tour with
Jesse's
them.
House is one of the
Okay.
few places in the state offering
I'll do the
homelessness
go to
services for
bed
LGBTQ+
time thing
community.
stuff.
Currently, there's a wait
When's that
list for
coming up?
people
Is
who
that
are
coming up
in need
soon?
of
Coming up
housing
very
and
soon.
help by
Yeah,
volunteering.
right.
Items
Okay.
place to do is call Jesse's House for that.
For My Music
How
Festival is
far?
returning for a second year. It combines live music with art and
Okay, I
technology.
can
Some of the
extend this.
music artists
Alright.
in this year's lineup
We're
include
going
Alanis
to switch over
Morissette
to
and
the
Leon
weather
Bridges.
coverage here
It
real
all
quick,
starts
but not
December
wall to wall.
22nd at the Sugar
Stand
Hill
by.
Airstrip.
Sale for tickets starts Thursday at 10 in the morning.
That's right. Now, we have been checking in with Josh significantly and Dan and our whole weather team as these storms have developed. Of course, now we do know these are passing. So, Josh, what's the latest on this?
Well, right now we still have some thunderstorms that are moving through the area, but this is the back edge of the system, and we're not anticipating any more tornado potential as the cold front sweeps through the area. That's because the cold front is undertaking these thunderstorms and preventing them from having tornado potential. So while we still may have some lightning, while we still may have some heavy rain, even some wind reports or some hail, we're not expecting any more tornado potential with these storms that are going to be moving through the rest of the area. In fact, most of the Interstate 49 corridor in Washington and Benton County, at least west of those areas, is in the clear right now. And you can see the back edge of those storms moving through our Mount Sequoia camera right now, the beautiful Fayetteville downtown lights in the background there. And it does look like we dodged a big-time bullet for most of us here in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Obviously, we're going to assess those storms that did have a tornado warning. Potentially, there was tornado touchdowns in those areas. Certainly, the circulation was very strong, but for most of us here in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, we did dodge that major bullet in terms of those better tornado parameters throughout the overnight hours because that cap held. So looking at those temperatures right now, 63 degrees being reported at Drake Field. The dew point's going to start going down rapidly as that dry line moves through, and we can already see those westerly winds at 18 miles per hour. So that's a sign that we're already starting to see the system push out of the area. We're going to see those winds shift to the northwest as we go into the afternoon hours. In fact, can you play spot the cold front here? You can see it right across Benton County into western Washington County, 48 degrees in Bentonville, 45 in Tahlequah, 50 in Stigler. Then you just get a little bit further east. Still, the cold front hasn't passed through Fort Smith at 74 degrees. Harrison also sitting at 71. But as that cold front continues to progress to the east, like Dan said, you're probably going to want that jacket because temperatures are going to be quite chilly as we go throughout the rest of the morning hours. You can also see where that dry line is beginning to push out of the area. The dry line was kind of overtaken by the cold front, so they kind of merged together. It does look like we have another severe thunderstorm warning in effect. We'll check that out in just a minute. But there's the dry line right there centered over western Benton County as well as western Washington County. As that progresses to the east, we're going to see those dew points and those temperatures continue to fall across the area. So take a look at Howell Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. You can see that thin line of thunderstorms. It looks like that's the new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for portions of Crawford and Sebastian County. Again, not a whole lot of tornado potential expected with this at all, even though those storms may look a little bit more nasty. If we take a look at those storms up in northwest Arkansas right now, you can see that line that's pushing through eastern Fayetteville, moving into Madison County right now near the Huntsville area. And then that secondary line of storms that's in LaFleur County right now, progressing east towards Scott and Logan County. So again, a lot of thunderstorms right along that cold front, but these are going to just pose a wind threat, and it does look like the severe weather potential is winding down. But we take a closer look at this severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, it does look a little bit intense there. Maybe some small hail to the northwest of Roland, northwest of Fort Smith, with some gusty winds possible as that storm moves through Fort Coffee along the Interstate 40 corridor, near Alma and Mulberry. So we're still going to keep an eye on these storms as we go throughout the morning hours, but it doesn't look like the tornado potential is going to be all that high. But man, oh man, that was a different story a little bit further to the east where that cap did break. And we talked about that over the last several days. Would the cap break or not in time with those greatest tornado parameters in place for us to see that severe weather potential, at least the significant severe weather potential to be realized? And that was the case east of our coverage area, especially around the Mountain View area where multiple supercells moved through. There was a considerable tornado that moved through that area. And that's all because that energy moved in just in time. But here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, where we still had some isolated supercells, it does look like we dodged a big-time bullet in terms of those violent tornado parameters. So taking a look here at satellite and radar, again, there's that piece of energy that swung through central Arkansas as well as northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Still got that tornado watch in effect until noon. I do anticipate that is going to be dropped off as we go throughout the next couple of hours. But future track here still showing those thunderstorms, that line of storms at least moving through eastern portions of the coverage area. It should be well east of us by the time we get to 9, 10 o'clock, and those northwesterly winds will start cranking up, and it will feel quite chilly as you step outside. High temperatures today, of course, are going to be in the lower 60s with abundant sunshine expected. Overnight tonight, again, as I mentioned before, it's going to be quite cold. Low temperatures in the middle to upper 30s. And then Thursday, high temperatures are going to warm back up into the lower 60s. And again, there's that severe weather risk. It's now a marginal risk of severe weather for most of us in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Gusty winds and large hail is going to be the main concern with that. We are going to have a nice dry weather pattern as we go throughout the pretty much the rest of this week. We could have a few disturbances that try to swing through northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, but the overall upper level pattern does not favor severe weather potential here in our area. So that's certainly a good sign there. And that's why in that 5-day forecast, we only got 20% chances for isolated showers on Saturday and Easter Sunday. Good Friday looking absolutely fantastic as well. High temperatures in the upper 60s. So church services, Easter Sunday plans looking great across the area. Again, few isolated showers. Just be aware of that here in northwest Arkansas. As we go into next week, we are going to see another disturbance move through Monday. I think that one has a little bit more potential to be stronger here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, so we'll watch that closely. But again, the severe weather potential doesn't look all that high at all, with high temperatures warming into the upper 70s to lower 80s. And Dan, I know you wanted to mention a couple of things. What do you got going on over there in the weather lab?
Well, we got a view finally of a storm, a visual, because now it's starting to be daybreak here. And this is a storm that's severe, that's moving into Fort Smith. And so appreciate that report. Let's go ahead and we'll take Weather 3. I just wanted to give you kind of a quick update on this storm that's moving in. It is severe, and it does have hail up to the size of quarters, perhaps maybe even $half. It is a little bit of a stronger storm. And remember, this is an area that was pretty warm today, yesterday too, and today. It was in the lower 80s, and so there's a little more energy. If we go to our Weather 2 source, we got that severe thunderstorm warning. This severe thunderstorm warning does include Crawford and Sebastian County. It goes until 7:30, and so we can see some of the hail that's just to the east of Roland, and this is going to be traveling right along I-40. And as it's going to cross the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line, that's going to be some hail for people traveling eastbound and westbound right at the state border. So be aware of that. Severe thunderstorm warning, like we said, till 7:30. There's also a little bit of a hail core that's popping up. This is just to the northeast of Brentwood and eastern West Fork. And so we've got some people on Facebook and on Facebook Live that are wondering, okay, we knew about the storm potential. We've been up all night with you guys. Who can go to bed and where is the storms over? And I can tell you everywhere along the I-49 corridor from Bella Vista, Pineville, Fayetteville, everywhere you see that's west of this line, you're done. No more storms, no more severe weather. You've definitely dodged a bullet. Everywhere that's central and western Washington County, you're done. There is still a storm, though. You could go to bed, but it's going to be hailing on you in eastern sections of Washington County. Durham, Elkins, you've got that storm that's coming your way. A little bit of a stronger storm in the River Valley. Again, the tornado potential is lower just because the front pushed through. Then we got an additional storm that's popping up in LaFleur County, but this time not severe for the first time, and who knows how long. That LaFleur County is not getting the severe weather. So just wanted to kind of give an update. These storms will progress eastward. Crystal, Perry, Josh, that's going to be the end of this severe weather threat until the next storm system.
Right.
Probably
Well, we
isn't too
appreciate
far
everything y'all have done this morning. I know it has been an eventful one. We've seen
Yes.
tornado warnings threaten the area, severe thunderstorm warnings. I want to take an update now on that accident we've been looking at on I-49. It's around exit 81 in the Rogers area. Looks like traffic is still being impacted. It happened there on the right shoulder. So again, those storms have moved out. It seems like the aftermath is still giving some of us a headache this morning. So just please be careful out there. Take it slowly as you're getting ready to start your day.
And certainly as the sun comes up, we'll know more about the damage that might have been caused in areas where we were telling people to take shelter, areas
Yes.
like Harrison and Berryville and things like that. So as we push forward, we also saw hail. We had viewers on Facebook telling us they saw hail in multiple parts. And I believe our Kayla Davis actually managed to see some as she was out in Fayetteville. I don't know if we have her now. No, it doesn't appear we do, but still, this is probably what people are going to be dealing with now that the major storms have passed.
You know what the silver lining is, though, is that
Yeah.
it could have been a whole lot worse.
Right.
You know, and we talked about the role of the cap over the last several days, and that it could impact. And it looks like there's that video from Kayla right there of that hail that was moving through Fayetteville.
Wow.
I mean, pretty large hailstones there
Look at
for
that.
sure. Yes, up to quarter size, maybe even larger than that. That moved through Fayetteville just about an hour ago. So, yeah, I mean, we had severe weather over northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We had tornado warnings, possible tornadoes, of course, in far eastern portions of the coverage area. National Weather Service is going to go out there. They're going to survey everything. But the cap held when the violent tornado parameters were in place overnight last night. And here's one thing I got to say.
Yeah.
Dan, Zach, the production team that stayed overnight, tremendous job as always, preparing for this event. The viewers as well, staying with us overnight last night, watching this thing evolve. I think we have a very educated viewing area here, at least that views our newscast in terms of weather. And, we were prepared for this event. We were prepared for the potential for strong to violent tornadoes. The great news is, at least in our area, we didn't see that, but you saw in eastern portions of Arkansas, they weren't so lucky. So that's why we always say to stay prepared. And as we go into that next severe weather event that's going to be happening this year, somewhere down the line, so I always say to have multiple warnings and just be prepared for that potential for severe weather.
And I want to comment too on this, because when we were going and scanning all these first responding agencies, police departments, sheriff's departments, almost every single one of those pages yesterday put out a notice that said, be weather aware. Here's how in our area you can stay alert for all these storms that are going to be hitting our area. Even when I was getting a haircut yesterday, I mean, everyone around me was talking about it. So I think that vigilance is something to keep in mind as like a lesson learned as we move forward into the rest of severe weather season.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Well, Josh, thank you for that. We do appreciate it. All right, time now, 6:52. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Perfect.
All right, so
Yeah.
And we're going to be following the rundown.
we're still watching the storm that's in the River Valley. It's got a little bit of hail, so you let me know if you guys are seeing hail at all. We're kind of looking at some iDrive Arkansas cameras. We're also looking at this mega Doppler source. So we do have a little bit of hail that's coming down on the north side of Fort Smith near Van Buren. You can actually see that's actually pretty sizable hail too. So that's a hail core that's coming down on the north side of Fort Smith. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up Fort Smith Public Library. Actually, we're going to do Miss Laura's historic site. I'm going to spin this camera around real quick. Take a look north.
Yeah.
Zach, go ahead and while I'm doing that, just keep them entertained. All right, yep. So Dan is spinning that camera to get a better view of it. It's a strong storm, severe storm, producing hail, damaging winds, and see if we can get a better look at that. Yeah, it doesn't.
This guy's something wrong with IB1.
Got that pulling
you're
away,
fine.
but
Those are the two cores.
again,
Well, I mean, I don't think
severe
you-
storm
You're fine. Okay. Thank you for the video. Yeah.
near Fort Smith.
Oh, wow. That's
Okay,
good
sweet.
size.
Towards
Pretty good
Van Buren.
Okay.
storm there.
Pretty good hail core there that's cranking
Yeah.
up.
No doubt. Oh,
You guys should see me running around. in
This
city
is some of the larger hail.
And I
And keep
just-
in
I was
mind,
like,
too, that this is
sorry.
close to the radar
I mean,
beam.
hindsight, I don't think we should have taken you. We're too close to the end.
So if
Don't
we're,
worry
we're
about it.
close
Yeah,
to the
we'll
radar
keep running
beam.
back
yeah.
afterwards, but
Dan, on
you're
that
fine.
on
Yeah,
that first
you did what you
forecast,
needed
we'll
to
look at
do.
that hail core.
Yeah.
Mega Doppler.
You want me to do
It's
that?
okay.
Yeah, we'll do that during the first forecast too.
Okay.
I'm gonna show that iDrive camera. In that.
I'm sweating.
Library
You guys sweating?
We're feeling the Baja blast.
Oh, good. The
Yeah.
Baja Blast
Yeah,
sweats.
it's starting to wear off.
We are still live just because of this storm. Just a heads up on
Where
Facebook
is,
Live. So we're still streaming.
That's okay. I'm human.
Hey, everybody is. And I'm sweating too.
Thank you, Dan. That makes me feel better.
Yeah. Yes.
Morning.
It's been. If I lift up my arms, you might see something that's not so nice.
Arms here.
So Maryland, we're just kind of watching this storm that's got a little bit of hail that's headed towards Van Buren. If we check out our WeatherBug Network camera from Miss Laura's historic site, you can kind of see that cell off in the distance. Notice though, that is a westerly wind on that flag, and it's a strong westerly wind. So
cold front.
That's the cold front moving in.
Yep.
And that means no tornado potential with this. Downpouring between Maple and Oak Grove. Believe that. Very, very strong downpour. And you got this storm right here. Berryville, Huntsville picking up.
I didn't want to see that. Because we saw it. I mean, we saw the wall cloud coming through.
Yeah. So look at this. Josh Weisel said, I got a picture of what looked like a wall cloud over Fayetteville. We saw it. We were running back and forth outside. I saw the lowering. It was definitely starting to wrap around.
And that could have produced a potential tornado further on.
But here's what happened. I know what happened. I was looking at the low-level wind shear. Yeah, we have hail in Van Buren. Yeah, you definitely do. Which, by the way, just to let you know, we've got another weather camera coming that's going to be in North Van Buren.
That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome, folks. We're going to have an amazing camera view. Let's bring up an iDrive Arkansas camera that's a little closer to that storm.
Interstate 40.
Yeah, that's where I was at. That was at Lee Creek, but
What
it's
about that one
already
right there?
passed.
Near Van Buren.
Let me do Alma.
Yeah, that one's better.
Nope. Nope. Yep. There's a good downpour. Nope. Nope. And yep. Very dark in Kibler right now. Kibler is about to get some rain. So this is why we're still streaming. But in fact, we're not doing wall-to-wall severe weather coverage. So kind of bouncing back around. So that was a unique show because it was basically all weather.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Up from 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, the models, as much as they struggled, they started picking up on that about 10 months.
Are you going to bring up the accident in this first one?
Oh yeah.
I could bring up the accident. I don't have
we
that
could have
up
the
right
Prop
now.
PC bring it up.
But this is a heavy rain core that's coming into the river belt. If they could do it on Prod PC, bring up the accident on Prod PC. Hail in Van Buren. Ooh, look at that downpour. Look at how people are hitting. Yep. Some hail in Van Buren. Now keep in mind the radar is very close to this hail core, so it's not
Perfect.
picking up
Thank
the
you.
whole thing.
Thank you.
Are we getting ready?
Yes, we're like 20 seconds out.
Okay.
Wow, there's some
Ooh,
lightning.
wow, look at that downpour. Yeah, we definitely hit it perfect. All right, stand by.
Accidents northbound on Interstate
Are you going to pitch to me, or are we both in the weather lab? What are we doing?
You starting the weather lab? Yeah, we'll do that. Okay,
Zach,
starting the weather lab.
you want it? Or you want to chill
yeah.
back?
Your life, your news. You're watching Fox 24 News at 7.
Well, a good morning to you all. Welcome into Fox 24 News at 7. If you were tuning in our sister station, KNWA, you saw our severe weather coverage extend pretty much throughout the entire morning.
Oh, yeah.
It seems as though the storms have passed for the most part, but we are still getting reports of hail in our area. We have Dan and Zach and Josh, the whole team here this morning. Guys, what do you have for us?
What day of the week is it?
I couldn't even tell you.
Right.
Wednesday? It's only Wednesday.
Yeah, so I just got an alarm to pick up my son or drop my son off at school to wake up. But yeah, here we are. Let's take a look at the radar. We do have one storm in particular that is producing hail. In fact, we're streaming this coverage as we've been all night and into this morning. That is moving into the Van Buren and Kibler area and Alma. In fact, if we go to our Weather One source, this is an iDrive Arkansas camera, and it is an absolute downpour. In fact, you can see people that are putting on those hazards, those flashers, because visibility definitely being reduced along with some hail that's coming down. But Josh, Zach, we've been watching this system all evening, last night, into this morning, finally late morning, or should I say, before sunrise, but essentially, right around 2-3 o'clock, those storms finally started to develop.
It's been a long day for sure.
Really
Finally, the cold front seems to be undercutting those storms.
Yeah, we dodged a big time bullet because the energy didn't move in on time, and that was great because that means we didn't have the forcing in place for those isolated supercells to develop. Now, our neighbors to the east weren't so lucky.
Yeah, we had some big time tornadoes in northeast Arkansas. I had
Yes.
lots of tornado warnings that we were covering on our sister station, the KNWA Today, from about 5 to 7. One quick check of the radar, if we can, on Mega Doppler, and we'll take a look here at a wide view. Everything from I-49 corridor all the way through Bend and Washington County are done. No more severe weather. You don't have to worry. You can travel. You can go anywhere. Carroll County, Madison County, a little bit of rain coming through, but not severe. Storms moving into Branson that are severe. The only severe warning is that storm that's located near Alma and Kibler and Barling and moving east pretty quickly. So as you can see, this is definitely a system that is winding down, thankfully. Josh is going to have that 7-day forecast for the Easter weekend coming up in just a bit.
Looking good.
Yeah, all right, guys. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Time now, 7:02. You can see here images sent in by viewers of hail that fell in Shadow Valley in Rogers. Oof, get a look at that. We've been also keeping an update with electric companies through the area. It seems as though Ozark Electric's the only one reporting any significant outages right now, and that's going to be in the Farmington, Prairie Grove area. But man, oh man, that hail came down.
Yeah, and we had viewers in our Facebook Live talking to us. They are seeing hail in areas like Pea Ridge and Springdale. And we even got some video. Our very own Kayla Davis went out over in Fayetteville and grabbed this video. Now you can see there, oh yeah, the hail is coming down. And that's still what a lot of folks are seeing this morning as they're getting ready. They're getting out the door. We also want to check in with those first responders, of course, as we continue to cover this to see if there was any long-term damage from these storms. But as you're heading out this morning, we just want to be mindful that that hail is still out there.
And so just take it slow this morning. We are reporting some accidents on I-49 as well. We do know that there was one reported on exit 81.
Can we bring up Weather
Dan, did
3
you have an
real-
update?
Bring up Weather 3 real quick, because
Sure.
you got to see this Alma WeatherBug Network camera. This just kind of shows you what, look at how strong those winds are.
Wow.
So this is that severe thunderstorm warning, and this is some hail that's coming down. Look at the light pole, how much it's shaking. And this is
Wow.
happening right now. So I just wanted to kind of give you an update.
No,
that
thank you.
These
Yeah.
are what people are experiencing as that storm's coming through Alma.
And that is for our River Valley viewers this morning, that storm hitting you all as well. So please, if you're going to have to be outside today, just take it slow. Maybe wait a little bit longer before taking that morning commute. We saw quite a bit of accidents on I-49 this morning. And with the rain still pouring down like that, visibility, I'm sure, is difficult out there. So just take it slow.
Absolutely. And I'm sure everyone, your boss will be understanding. I mean, this really is a significant day. We also have more reports coming in. So we want to get to some local news now. We'll get back to weather in just a moment. But in the meantime, a nonprofit is seeing the need for its services grow in the River Valley after being open for only a year.
So much so, there's a wait list now for people who need shelter and a safe place to go. Our Kayla Davis is live in studio. Good morning, Kayla. What makes its services so unique?
Well, good morning. The nonprofit is called Jesse's House. It's one of the only places in the state offering LGBTQ catered homelessness services. One of the case managers, Samantha Holland, says a recent UCLA study found the LGBTQ plus community is 2 to 4 times more likely to experience homelessness. She says oftentimes it's due to family rejection, domestic violence, or societal seclusion. Jesse's House offers these folks a safe place to live and helps meet their basic needs, such as food.
Colin says the goal is to help those who live there build their resume.
All right, everyone, we're just continuing to kind of show you, boy, look at this Alma WeatherBug Network camera as it shows you.
Yeah, it's freaking.
Yeah, it is coming down. Look at this. You can see that. And this is actually
Right now, there are 6 people
not
living
the
at
strongest
Jesse's
part
house,
of
with
it.
a
It was
handful
right
of
on the
people
leading edge. It's already starting to come through.
on the wait list. Holland says the
That, by the
nonprofit
way, is
just
looking off to
celebrated
the
its
north.
1-year anniversary, and as a new nonprofit
Oh, there's a
with
hail.
growing need, They're always looking for
But you can see the hail coming down.
volunteers. In the next half hour, hear from one of their residents and more about those
Ooh,
needs
it's
for
starting
their
to flicker a
program.
little
Live in
bit.
studio, Kayla Davis, Fox 24 News. All right, Kayla, thank you for that. We appreciate it. And now
I'm good for a
we
nap.
are still keeping an eye on the
Ah,
weather through
me as
the area.
well.
Be sure to stay tuned with our weather team because they will have the latest this morning.
That's right. And the news doesn't stop. We've got a lot to cover this morning, including the arraignment of Donald Trump and the criminal charges that he's facing.
But first, let's check back in with Josh to look outside. Josh, we saw that rain coming down pretty hard in the River Valley. What's an update?
So we got Josh just giving an update now on traffic, but we already saw that weather that's coming down. Definitely some heavy rain that's happening. And there's traffic accidents too.
The caution, you're still running into those rain showers, especially along the southern.
Man, Kibler's getting hit now with that. One last one.
Take it easy on the roadways because hydro.
Any sign that that could start rotating?
Let's see. At the speed limit. So go back to the 20 miles per hour below speed limit. It should be.
Is it kind of bulging?
Interstate
Kind of a
49
little
will be good,
bulge,
but a little bit busy as you head northbound, so give yourself several extra minutes to head to work or school this morning. Good news is, besides that
That's
accident,
cool.
Interstate 49, there are
Send
no
it to
other
Dan's
incidents
front
to
page.
report at this
Awesome.
time in the interstate highways, and we'll continue to keep you posted on that as we go throughout the rest of the morning. Keep it right here. We'll have more news headlines and weather right after the quick break. But first, we'll look at the latest Arkansas scholarship. The next strong tonight.
Cody Hudson calling. Wake up to pick up my to
Tim
take my
says,
son to
great
school.
job, everyone.
Hello.
Tim says, great job, weather team.
Let's go, Tim.
Go, Tim.
Yes.
Good.
We love Tim.
We love Tim. Big Tim enjoyers.
Power's still on, so we dodged a bullet. Yep. They flicker. No, that's good. That Alma camera is not working. So, whoa. My magazine's back up. Imagine that.
Of course. After
Just in time.
those isolated supercells moved to the southeast of it.
Yes, yes. Now it's working. And when we were able to see it, now it's working. So, anyways, we're still watching this storm. There's a pretty intense storm that's coming through the eastern side of the River Valley, and it's going to be moving into Franklin County here pretty soon. I hope it doesn't start rotating.
Kind of is.
What? What was that?
I think that was a trash man.
Oh, is that the
Scattered
trash
trucks.
guys? Oh
Yeah.
man,
Scattered
the trash
to
guys.
isolated trucks.
Look at how strong that low level jet is. But wow,
Yeah, I
you
think
can
that's
see how
thunder
strong
every
those
morning.
ones
It
are.
always wakes me up.
D3. Oh,
That sounds exactly like thunder.
Yeah,
man.
I tell you, every morning that always wakes me up.
Hey, I'm a little concerned about this circulation that's starting to pop up.
so let's talk about that.
It's on the leading edge of the line.
I'm gonna show that on the.
Okay, and look, it's got a little bit of a reflectivity nub. Here, let me show you what I'm looking at, guys.
We'll start with reflectivity.
So it's got a little bit of that reflectivity nub, and it's right on the leading edge of that line. There's a little bit of that circulation. This is only 875 feet up. So if we go back, you can kind of see how that's on the leading edge of that front. Maybe it's out racing the front. Remember, this is an area that is very warm.
Is it a rear inflow? A little bit.
It's moving. It's moving east northeast. Here, there's the new update right there. So Mulberry, severe thunderstorm warning, and some quarter-size hail. We saw how strong that we saw how strong the hail core was, along with how strong the storm was. But yeah. So, anyways, we're watching. Do you need weather? Here, hold on. We're gonna put Josh on here. Stand by.
Well, a strong to severe line of showers and thunderstorms is still pushing through northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And man, oh man, is that low-level jet also kicking up across the area. Here's our Mount Magazine camera right now, completely obstructed by cloud cover. But when you get breaks in those clouds, you see those clouds really streaming off to the east. That shows you that energy was pretty strong that moved through our area and is still moving through some portions of the River Valley. Taking a look at Alma High School, we saw some hail, even some wind pushing through this area. You could see the back edge of that storm moving through. We've also got the back edge of the system moving through our Mount Sequoia camp of Fayetteville. You're probably already feeling those colder temperatures right now in Fayetteville and in Bentonville. So you're probably going to want that jacket as you're heading to work or school this morning north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. Also, those westerly winds really starting to crank up as well. That means that severe weather potential is beginning to wind down behind the cold front. Now, we are still watching one particular supercell right now that is moving just to the east of Alma. Again, it's still along the cold front, but it's got a little bit of a nub there that we need to watch very closely. Again, the rotation is quite weak at this time, but this little area right here, we need to watch. It's going along Interstate 40 near Mulberry. Obviously, large hail still a concern there with that severe thunderstorm warning that continues just to the east of Van Buren. As we take a look at satellite and radar here, you can see those showers and thunderstorms that fired out ahead of that line. That's where that tornado potential was a little bit more increased last night, early this morning here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. The good news is that the better tornado parameters were in place late last night, and that wasn't in place when those storms fired off. But we still had some possible tornadoes, so we're going to have to look at those storm reports very closely. There's that line of thunderstorms, Washington, Benton County, west along Interstate 49. You're all clear. We got some thunderstorms moving through Madison County as well as Carroll County. But this thunderstorm in particular, we're still going to be watching very closely. Again, you could see that nub on live Doppler radar. We're going to be watching this very, very closely, guys, as we go throughout the next few days. In fact, I think that severe thunderstorm warning was changed to a tornado possible tag. So we're going to have to watch this storm very closely as we go throughout the next few minutes here. As we take a wider view here, you can see that energy kicked in a little bit later than anticipated. That's why that severe weather risk went down. You still notice, though, we've got that tornado watch in effect for portions of the area until 12 o'clock today. But again, we're going to have to watch that storm very closely that's moving through portions of Alma. Again, there's so much energy that's moving through with these storms that we are going to have to watch them for those nubs and those spin-ups that can happen along the line. The good news is, though, by the time we get to about 9, 10 o'clock, most of those showers and thunderstorms are going to be well east of the area, and we'll see much cooler and drier weather prevail as we go throughout the rest of the week. You notice here on that 2-day forecast timeline, at least in northwest Arkansas, temperatures are going to remain steady in the upper 40s to middle 50s. We'll warm into the lower 60s this afternoon with abundant sunshine. Tonight, low temperatures are going to be in the middle to upper 30s, so we are going to see a little bit of the increasing cloudiness tomorrow, but not expecting any precipitation at all, with high temperatures generally in the lower to middle 60s. We still got that severe weather potential, especially in far eastern portions of the coverage area as that line moves through a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk of severe weather east of Interstate 49. And again, we're going to be watching that storm very closely. There is still some parameters there in place where we could get a spin up or two as we go throughout the next few hours in the River Valley. The good news is once this system swings through, we are going to see cooler and drier weather prevail. The pattern also really is going to favor a drier weather pattern as we go towards the weekend as well, though we could have a few weak disturbances that move through. That's why we've got that 20% chance of showers on Saturday and Easter Sunday. Really not going to majorly impact those plans at all. Monday, that storm system that moves through may be a little bit stronger, so those rain chances could go up. High temperatures are going to be in the lower to middle 60s, lower to middle 70s for your Easter weekend. In the River Valley, high temperatures Wednesday through Good Friday will be in the middle to upper 60s, and then we'll be in the lower 80s by Monday and Tuesday. But we'll be watching that storm very closely as we move throughout the rest of the morning hours. But I'm going to send it back over to you.
All right, Josh, appreciate your updates. We'll keep checking in with you. In the meantime, the Hogeye Marathon and Relays is a nonprofit event supporting charities and local groups who promote healthy living and fitness. So joining us now with details about this year's upcoming Hogeye is Tabby and Andy. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, I hope your drive here was safe. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. So first, give us an idea about the history of the Hogeye, because it's been around for a minute.
Yes, the Hogeye started in 1977, and it started from the University of Arkansas campus here in Fayetteville to go out to the little wide spot in the road called Hogeye.
Wow.
And then it's happened every year since 1977.
Wow. And so this year, we've got a whole lot of events to look forward to. What specifically are you guys planning?
So we start and finish in downtown Springdale now, in case people don't know that. We have our marathon, the half marathon, and the 4-person marathon relay on Saturday, April 15th. And then on Sunday, we have what we call our Sunday Fun Day event, and that's our 5K and our 10K.
Nice. A whole lot of options. And then I heard there's something called a double dare, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So you get the opportunity to run 2 races. So if you run on Saturday, you can run again on Sunday as well. So if you have the stamina to run a marathon
was
and want to
gonna
run a
say.
5K on Sunday, then you get a medal for both races.
Well, I feel like you almost get a third medal just for having that endurance. That's impressive, but amazing. And of course, all of this goes towards a great cause. And every year, you guys, choose some areas to give this money to. So where are you looking this year?
Yeah, so we have 4 major charities that we support. The Meals on Wheels of Washington County, administered through the senior centers in the county. And then we have the Jackson L. Graves Foundation, the Kendrick Venture for Life, and also the American Wheelchair Mission.
Wonderful.
And gotta ask, right? Is there still time to sign up if someone was interested in getting involved here?
The hog guy. Can you imagine running that right now?
No, not. It's a tough course too.
And it's a very tough course. And not even with
And is there any other information that
the
folks should
Mirror
know
of Souls
going into this?
challenge.
Think something that
You
might
know,
surprise
Mirror
them,
of
or
Souls
you
challenge
just-
10 times.
Oh, well, this is doing a great coaching, so yeah, hopefully.
I know.
Actually, 8 times.
Oh my
You know, we
gosh,
have the
I'd
races
die.
right, we have, Wheel of Fortune.
There is a storm that we got to watch here in the River Valley. We've been watching it. It does have a little rotation.
It's got tornado
possible.
It's got a tornado possible tag. This is in the River Valley. So tell me, if you guys are in Ozark, let me know what you're seeing.
Wonderful. So
Get a
say
storm track on
you're not a runner, say you're not
It's
really
moving
in shape,
east at
like
60.
myself, and you're interested in helping out.
It's
them.
going to go
How
well
would you
along
do
Interstate
254.
A lot of volunteers.
254, so it's moving east-northeast.
And you can actually click on the volunteer link.
Yeah, it's going to move through Ozark. Yeah, that's about good. Go northeast a little bit more. There you go.
Cheering them on to make sure, that car is
Yep.
going places inside the morning.
Yeah, it does look a little suspicious. I'm going to have to watch that.
Well, thank you.
Get out of here.
Of course.
Not you, but
So
the
happy you
storm.
made it. So all right. We'll be back here on Fox 24 in just a couple of minutes. See you in a moment.
I'm going to cry now.
Come on, Storm. Get out of here. All right. So, is that a new warning? It's got to be a new warning for that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So normally we do 2, right? But unfortunately, we
So
had
Zach, how long
many-
have you been
so
up?
much severe weather. That was it.
Since the morning. So, I
Since
mean,
yesterday morning?
yeah. Well, I mean,
Since
I don't even know anymore.
It's just all
I don't
What
either.
day is it?
It's Wednesday. It's
Wednesday.
your, day, it's your day off.
Oh,
Sweet.
okay. Nice. Sweet.
It's the
It's your
weekend.
day
I'm
off.
off today.
Yeah. That's nice. Seriously though, golf ball size hail approaching north of Mulberry. This is a pretty stout storm.
There's that new severe thunderstorm warning. It still's got that tornado possible tag.
And that's the National Weather Service out of Tulsa that issues that.
Wow. Okay.
Hopefully you get some nice weather for the hog eye.
So the source on that was observed.
One of these days I'll try running it.
Oh, Dan, you can run for me too.
I'll do the double dare. 2 marathons in
I just
2
ran my
days.
first mile ever in 9 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, I've
That's
never done
awesome. I ran 19-minute 5K.
Mirror of Souls challenge.
Yeah,
Try it out.
running.
It'll make you fast.
Any confirmation of any of the rotation you're clicking? No confirmation that we've heard of. Pretty strong circulation, but I think it was just kind of, low level rotation. Here's one of the things that I noticed, guys, is that the storms were moving northeast, right? And remember what I said about that motion has to be more easterly.
Yep.
I think if they turned a little bit more, it could have been tornado potential.
And the storm motions matter too. When you're tapping into that photograph, the
100%.
critical angle's got to be as close to 90 degrees as possible.
100%.
Storm motions don't line up. You typically don't get a whole lot of long track tornado potential.
I've been
sure
here for like
do.
almost 8 months, and this is my first severe
All right,
weather.
let's take a
It's your
look
first week.
here again.
I think that looks like it.
Maybe kind of weakening.
Though we are at a higher tilt at 1.8 right now.
Oh man.
Still a little bit of
Yeah.
Bit of a
indication.
nub. Bit of a nub.
Let's look. I know it got crazy for about 5 minutes. Oh, I bet it got nuts. There's a look
It's
at
going
that
right along
hail.
Interstate 40.
Yeah.
What's the speed
We
of
may
that
have an
storm?
iDrive Arkansas camera.
60.
It's going pretty fast.
Let's see if we have an iDrive Arkansas camera.
Yeah, can you look at that up? All right. Go to weather. That's weather 3.
National headlines this morning. Former President Donald Trump says he's innocent of the 34 felony crimes he's been charged with.
Trump addressed supporters in Florida late Tuesday, hours after his historic arrest, in a warning piece in Washington.
And that's on weather 2.
Weather 2.
I mean, weather 1, whatever we want. Yeah.
You can see darkness. Actually, you can see
See the leading edge of the
Leading
line.
edge of the line.
Where was that?
this one is just to the east near Ozark.
And looking which way? West?
This is looking west, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it on this.
That's good. That's a good view.
This is going to be a good view of it.
Yeah. Is this the last round of storms?
Yes.
For the day.
To
Josh,
coke
I was gonna give you,
through the day?
Josh,
What's up?
give you a traffic toss unless you had something more specific you needed.
Oh.
We're gonna
To come. Yeah,
yeah,
to come
we're
through
gonna
the
talk
day.
about what's going on with this.
I'd take a Coke
It's
right
not
now.
tornado,
Yeah.
it's a little sus.
Take a Coke.
So we're
Zach,
just gonna take a quick look
I'll
at
tell you
our
what,
short
man. We've
outline.
ate a lot of junk food today, didn't we?
I mean, all I had was a Baja Blast.
And it was
and
like
not
3
even-
sips.
You know, I was gonna drink that, but
Wait,
you
wait,
threw it
but
out.
it's like liquid?
Well, yeah, I was waiting for the storms to come.
You're waiting for it to turn to a liquid? You
I
gotta
mean,
have the
it-
Brussels
It's still
Baja
a,
Blast.
it's still a Baja Blast.
No, it's a
just-
Baja
It's just a Baja.
Baja Flast.
The ROJ blast.
It's the melted blast. It's not a blast. There's a look at I Drive Arkansas. You can see that storm off in the distance. Someone had a question. Russellville. Anything bad headed our way? So Russellville has this storm, but it looks like the majority of it's going to be headed to the north of it, but there's additional storms that are coming in. Still some energy. We knew how this would be lagging back on the river valley.
As the war of Russia and Ukraine continues, NATO officially welcomed Finland.
Oh, there's some cool
New
sites here
membership
in Alma. We saw
significantly
that.
increases the alliance's shared border with Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin says the expansion is a threat. and used
Okay,
Ukraine's
perfect.
potential
What's going
interest
on?
in NATO, joined
The
it
exit
as
on
the
Mama
reason
thing.
for
Let's make
his
it clear.
invasion.
So,
Okay,
Now,
good.
back in
Check
the
this.
US,
Tell me
dozens
that
of governors joined in on a
camera,
video
which will make it
call.
up and show track.
Okay, you want me to control it?
Yeah, we'll just look at that one storm that's near Ozark.
Damage, wind driven hail. Ooh, wow. Branson, 2-inch hail.
The White House also announced additional security assistance for Ukraine, which includes new air defense capabilities
Quarter-size hail.
and anti-armor systems. Time now is 7:23. Of course, you've been following us this morning. You know we've been following severe weather system that's moving through our area. We saw a
Stand by.
traffic accident on 81, or sorry, 49, exit 81.
How are things looking now?
Yeah, that accident's been cleared. So
Okay.
Interstate 49 looking good right now. There is still some wet roadways. So just make sure you're aware of that and taking it nice and easy as you're heading to work and school this morning. I want to show you Interstate 40 right now. This is near the Ozark area, and you can see the leading edge of this thunderstorm that's beginning to move along Interstate 40. And this thunderstorm right now does have some potential right now for some spin-ups. Let's take a look at High Heat and Cooling Mega Doppler right now. You can see here not a whole lot of rotation showing up there on normalized rotation, but as we take a closer look here near Ozark, just a little bit of a nub there, a little bit of a bowing out with that particular supercell. This severe thunderstorm warning that's currently in effect does have a tornado possible tag with it. So we're going to watch it very closely as it continues to transition to the east-northeast. Again, this storm will be moving at about 7:37 a.m. near Mountaintop, 7:47 a.m. near OARC, 7:52 a.m. near Ozone, and 8:04 a.m. near Limestone. So if you're along Interstate 40, just be aware that this supercell is heading to the east-northeast right now. It does have a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag, and we'll continue to keep track of that as we go throughout the rest of the show. Keep it right here. We'll have more news, headlines, and weather after a quick break.
Stop with the warnings.
And the tornado possibles.
There's a tornado possible on that too.
Which one? Oh, the new one?
What state is this? So this is Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma and Arkansas. Hello to the stream if you're watching. This has been going around.
It's making the rounds right now
Yeah.
on YouTube.
I'm putting this
No
PSA
kidding.
out.
What you got? Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
Don't be like Luca and sleep through severe weather.
Lucas is built different. You need to show Dan Luca running.
Oh my gosh, I
Yes,
will.
he is a tank. He's a
Oh,
unit.
I've seen. We had Luca pick his head above the desk. It
No, we
looked like he was. It looked like he was the anchor.
That's pretty cute.
Or she? Is it she? It's she. It is a he. Is
Luka
he?
Doncic. That's it. That's who he's named after.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And Luca the dog kind of has that same like kind of
Whoa.
game and
Whoa,
build.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
as
whoa,
Luka
whoa,
Doncic.
whoa. Desiree said, "Did you see the video I sent to you in Oak Grove? The tornado in Oak Grove." I did not. Desiree, tell me where you sent it. I'm sorry, we've been doing coverage. We've been bouncing around. We've been kind of crazy, and it's kind of hard to keep up with all that. Tell me where you sent it.
Do you want to see that?
Yeah.
Which makes sense because remember that rotation got really strong over Oak Grove. Went right through that area.
Yeah.
So again, obviously it was so hard to see if we could get a PTDS drop or a correlation coefficient drop because of how far away it was from the radar. But it makes sense based on what we saw in storm relative velocity.
Dan, I need a Baja Blast. Yeah, we all do, don't we?
We just need to get like Baja Blast for every single person in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
We need to get a sponsorship from Taco Bell.
Honestly, I'm down for that.
Get one from Waterburger first.
I knew that.
I'm
was
game for that. Boy, I could go with
Yeah.
a milkshake. Wouldn't that be amazing? Right about
Oh, that would be.
Honestly, any free food at this point. Stellar.
Give it all.
2,
Mount Magazine, you did me wrong, man.
5,
of course.
Look at that low level jet though.
Oh, man.
The Bentonville Planning Commission approved a rezoning of property off Central Avenue and Battlefield Boulevard. The land is set to be used for a housing and hotel complex.
The project would include 500 housing
Seven
units,
bro.
150 room hotel.
I think I sent it to your personal Facebook
retail
messenger.
space. Some nearby residents shared
Dan,
concerns that development could cause traffic and flooding problems.
Check this
Architects
out.
say they listened to that feedback and made accommodations.
Here, I can pull it up right now.
Okay. You guys see this?
Good douche.
And of course all the clouds are gone. This is looking due west. Look at that wind shear. Whew. Wow, those clouds are moving. How fast do you think those are going? Those are about 40,
Bentonville
what?
City Council is expected
50
to
miles per
discuss the
hour.
Yeah.
rezoning at its meeting next Tuesday.
Easily.
In national news, labor statistics show the job market shrunk to its lowest levels.
I do want to see.
The White House economist said
So we're in the middle of the
February,
newscast. We can't talk
job
super
openings
loud,
across
but
the
yeah, you can
US
see the base of the
dipped below
storm
10
approaching.
million for the first time in
Keep
nearly
watching
2
that.
years. Economists say that the
So if you're just
tough
tuning,
inflation
if you're
fueled
just
by
tuning in,
competitive
we've been
wages.
covering
Even with
storms
fewer available
for
jobs, labor
12
statistics
hours,
show
12
employers
plus
are
hours.
still hiring. The White House says
And
that
really,
the
honestly, there
market
haven't been
finally
super
is
substantial
inflated.
wicked
But
storms.
outside
I mean, there've been
economists are
tornado
less
warnings, they've been
optimistic.
rotating,
Congress Bank of America says the
but it's
US
not
is
like
long
a
ways from
major
balance
tornado
the market.
outbreak.
No, and like we talked about those storms that happened in East Arkansas. That
Those were
proves we
pretty
dodged.
intense. Those were pretty
Just a
intense.
couple counties over.
Yeah, they were right there.
Not very far away.
Now, if you need a
Severe
passport, you
thunderstorm
might want to
warning,
apply
Franklin
sooner rather
County.
than later. State Department officials say
And
it
this is
will
going
take more
by the way
than
till
4 months
7:45.
now to get a new passport,
Look at
and
that storm.
potentially even longer as we approach the summer travel
The
season.
Greenwood.
The State Department says the number of applications received in recent months is above what they expected. As of late March, travelers waited 10 to 13 weeks for a passport. I'm now is 7:25. Let's go ahead and check back in with our weather team and look right here at non-meted. This is still the story we were just covering. Josh, how's it looking out there?
Yeah, we're still watching that storm right now, Perry, that's moving towards Ozark along Interstate 40. Still got the severe thunderstorm warning in effect with that tornado possible tag. We're watching it in the weather lab very closely in case it does ramp up with that rotation. You can see
Hold
the
on
basic
just a sec.
thunderstorm there on our Arkansas Department of Transportation camera. We'll continue to keep track of that. Wanted to also show you our Mount Magazine camera. Look at the
Clouds cranking on out of the area. That's the low-level jet there, moving at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. That shows you we had a tremendous amount of energy that's pushing through. Good news is those winds are now blowing out of the west, and that means the severe weather potential is winding down in Alma, Fort Smith, as well as most of northwest Arkansas. And we'll continue to see that for the rest of the coverage area as we go throughout the rest of the morning hours. Keep it right here. I'll have your full forecast coming up after a quick break.
Just watch that video. Send it to your Facebook.
What video? Yeah.
Tornado.
Oh, yeah, let's see that. Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. So, kind of running out of steam, and the storms are running out of steam, but they're still hanging on in our eastern weather coverage area in the River Valley. So, I want to take a look. We're going to just bring up Mega Doppler, show you those 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. Some pretty sizable hail right now in southern Sebastian County. Guess who's probably there? Mr.
Zachary Hall, y'all.
I bet you he'll be there. Let's take a look here at that Facebook tornado Mindy Cup. Justin posted. Nope, I don't see it. Oh, I sent it to KNWA Fox 24 Messenger too. Okay, let's do that. I can get to there. Oh.
I know. That's at least what it's raining.
Stand by. About to sneeze.
Bless
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid sneeze. I'd give that like a 9.5.
That was up there.
On the sneeze.
All right. Here's Desiree. We got it. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big tornado.
That is the only problem with Messenger is I can't expand that. I can't make that bigger.
Wow.
Can I download? No. I'm looking at it. I know this isn't as polished as our other coverage, but I'm just kind of watching here. Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Josh, you're almost done, dude.
My heart's beating. I feel it. I can hear it.
From all the sugar.
I think it's from the sugar and lack of sleep.
Dang, I can't. I wish Messenger. Can you do me a favor? Desiree, if you're still on here, I got Facebook Messenger. I can show a still of it.
That bird was struggling. Somebody told me, look at him, he's struggling. A wise man once told me if the birds are struggling, that means the system's strong. So, yes. So
Western Grove is good. Western Grove's done. Yeah, where's Oak Grove exactly? Northeastern Carroll County.
Moving through portions of the River Valley, we'll show you those in just a minute. But a little jet kicking that storm system off to the east, so we'll see some cloudiness persist as we go throughout the morning hours here in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We do anticipate by the afternoon we can see mostly sunny skies. There's that westerly wind you can see over our Miss Lawrence Canyon enforcement. It's the back edge of the system moves out there, but still watching that one storm.
That's pretty suspicious.
Right now, you can see the front end of that storm right now near Interstate 40. So just be aware of that. If you're using the eastbound and westbound. Make sure you're aware of that.
Messenger.
Speaking of that storm, you can see it here on highly deployed Mega Doppler. There's that severe thunderstorm warning in effect over the Ozark area as well as Cass. This is for Logan County as well as Johnson County, and that I believe expires in just a few moments. We've also got another severe thunderstorm warning to the south of that. There it is right there. It goes until 7:45 a.m. We do have a track on that storm still. It's going to the east northeast at about 55
Where's Oak Grove?
miles per hour. Again, 7:54 a.m.
There it is,
Ozone,
Mega
8:06 a.m. in Limestone.
Oak Grove is right here.
At 8:18 a.m. in Victor. We've got severe thunderstorms there. We've also got another severe thunderstorm warning. This is radar indicated for when you go 60 miles per hour for size hail for Franklin and Sebastian counties, and that's over the Greenwood area, and that will expire at 8:15 a.m. Still a couple storms that are moving through our area, but as that cold front is pushing through, the tornado potential is quite limited. We still have that tornado
That's where Oak Grove is.
for some areas in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, especially east of Interstate 49. But I do anticipate once that line moves through, that will also be allowed to expire early. We dodged a big time bullet last night, folks. There
I
was
think
some
storms are starting to
significant
wind down.
thunderstorms that moved through
Yep.
northeastern Arkansas. In the Mountain View area,
It's no longer.
severe weather risk is over
Yeah, it looks
in
like a
those areas as
major
well.
or
So
a
I said,
major
too,
roll
you know,
right
we
now.
talked about
Yeah, still
in
here.
those areas, and that's why we
Would
had
love to
those
see
long-track
that.
tornadoes potentially strong in those areas last night.
Wonder if you
Even
can
though
send me
the
that
Arkansas River
video
Valley
without
held,
Facebook
and that's why we
Messenger.
didn't have that strong development.
Desiree, that'd be helpful.
Take a look at the future track here. There's that line moving out of northwest Arkansas and River Valley. Again, the back edge is going to be in and out of here.
I
by
think
about
things
9,
are
10
starting to
o'clock. It's
wind
gonna be
down,
a
don't you?
nice afternoon, at
think
least in
so.
terms of the weather conditions.
It's
Some
no
of the
longer
northwestern
broken.
winds are going to make things feel quite bitter, so make sure you got that jacket on. It doesn't look like we've got
I
a new
don't think
severe
anything's
thunderstorm
gonna
warning that's just now been issued. We'll look at that in just a moment. But again, high temperatures today are going to be
Just
in
when
the
we
lower
say that,
60s.
they got a new
Overnight
warning
lows will be
probably
in the
for
upper
southern
30s.
Sebastian
As we go
County
into
for
tomorrow,
the
high
cell right
temperatures
here.
are also going to be in the lower 60s in most locations in northwest
Let's
Arkansas.
see here.
Again, with that severe
Florida,
weather risk,
Scott
you
County.
can see it's in far eastern portions of the coverage area. Weather
And
1 out of 5, marginal risk for severe weather. That's possible through 9 a.m. with those thunderstorms that are moving through. Again, large hail, damaging winds are leading to concern with a extremely low in tornado flow. You don't want to say it's zero.
I'm so tired, Haley. Me as well. So tired.
It's significantly lower than what's early on this morning. So take a look at that upper level support. That's going to be
Wake
moving
up,
out of the
Cade,
area later
every
on this
day.
afternoon. We're going to see a nice quiet pattern. We could have a few
I
disturbances
can email it.
that move
Yeah.
through Saturday, Sunday,
Email
and
it.
Monday.
That sounds
Strongest
good.
of which will be coming through on Monday.
That's a great
We'll watch
video.
that very closely, but it does look like the Easter weekend is going to stay mostly dry here in
Yeah.
Another severe storm warning.
We'll be in the
I
low
know.
upper 60s as we go throughout Thursday into your Good Friday. With partly sunny
Wake
skies
up,
expected.
Cade, every day.
You Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday, Easter Sunday.
No,
We're
it's
gonna
every
have one
weekday.
change. We're gonna feel pretty nice as we go into that Easter Sunday weekend. Then Monday, we do have a 20% chance.
Still
of
hanging
rain.
on. Is that a
We'll
tornado
get more
possible too?
confidence in that disturbance in Northwest Arkansas. High temperatures are going to be back in the lower 80s by next Tuesday. The good news is,
No.
with the lack of upper level support, it doesn't look like
That
the
is
severe
good.
weather potential
Just with the
is gonna be high
polygon, it's
despite
not
that
different.
upward trend. In the
I've
River Valley, high
asked about
temperatures
it
will
many
rest
times.
Should be.
in the
That
low
it should be.
60s.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday with a 20% chance of showers, high temperatures in the upper 70s, and then we'll be back in the lower 80s by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday. So, Crystal Perry, back edge of that system is starting to move through the area still. As you can see, a few severe thunderstorm warnings in effect in portions of the River Valley.
Desiree, if you can email it to
Within about 2
D
hours, the
as in
spirit is gonna
Dan,
go up, and we're gonna have a great rest of the
SKOFF at knwa.com. So dscoff at knwa.com. That would be helpful. What do you think, Josh? Think we can wind this down?
I
Shut
think
it
we
down?
can. I think we can go ahead and shut her down. I think the severe weather risk, at least tornado potential, is
Yeah.
it's pretty much out of the area.
We'll wait till another commercial. One more. But
Stay indoors and
a
use
little bit of a hail core that's coming through
Safety always comes first.
Ozark right now.
Radio,
Oh,
stay
I
dry.
drive. What's that?
Should
I
we
drive
get
camera.
down the streets, utility lines across roadways, debris, cleanup, crews are ready. Our strike team will go.
Oh yeah,
where
here it
needed.
comes,
That's
moving through that camera.
We'll know what that looks
Doesn't look bad though.
Well, you can see here images sent in by viewers, pictures of hail that fell in
Hello
Shadow
from
Valley
Northwest
and
Indiana.
Roberts. Imagine
What's
that.
up, Indiana?
Again, we're still keeping an eye on other damage reports. It looked like it came down out there.
So yeah, we heard from viewers on Facebook in multiple areas, Springdale, Pea Ridge, they might have received hail too. We know we saw some in Fayetteville. In fact, our
It's
Daily Davis
cold in
went out,
Salem.
got
I
some
know,
video
it's cold
of
on
the
that
hail
system.
falling right outside
You might
our
want that
offices. Here we
jacket
go.
as you're heading
In
to work.
Fayetteville, definitely coming down
Or as
this
I hop
morning.
in bed.
And that may continue for some of
I
our
might not
viewers
wake up
this morning,
today.
even now.
I might
We do want
go
to
to bed as soon as I get
transition
home.
over to Governor Huckabee
Do you have
Sanders. She
school
handed out
work?
meals
Yeah.
tornado
How
victims in
much?
Central Arkansas on
That's
Tuesday. She was at First
Oh.
Baptist Church in
But at least you
Jacksonville.
have
The church
all
is serving
day
as a
to
shelter
work on
for
it.
those
Yeah.
displaced by
Yeah, I mean, it's due to
It's also
it's due over the
distribution
next few days.
Oh,
clothing,
okay.
It's a lot of school.
Governor Sanders praised the spirit of those who are providing assistance.
Okay, guys. So here's the deal. Once we hit a commercial break, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Not because that, Johnson County, there's a storm still coming
The governor
through.
is cautioning Arkansans to
Just
be
don't
weather
think it's
aware
gonna do
during this
much.
ongoing storm season this morning. Just another reminder. Now,
It's
there
a-
is
it's
a growing
undercut
need
by
for
lawn.
services for those experiencing homelessness in the LGBTQ plus community.
And if you want more
One
information,
nonprofit
we'll
is
have
working to
a
fill that.
forecast coming
Kayla
up on
Davis
Fox
is live
24.
in studio. Good morning, Kayla. How is a nonprofit helping this community?
Well, good morning, guys. Jesse's House is a safe
8:15.
place for members of the LGBTQ plus community experiencing
experiencing
That's so
homelessness
long.
to live for 18 months and gain the tools that would allow them to get back on their feet. Samantha Holland is a member of it. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties, but let's give you the story here. Samantha Holland is a member of the LGBTQ plus community and a case manager for the
Starting to look
nonprofit.
nasty.
She says Jesse's House is in its first year and originally
Where's it
started
looking
with a
nasty at?
6-month program where she saw people succeed
think,
after moving out by mending ties with
I
their
remember
families
correctly,
or starting
Daniel
to live
was
independently.
Indiana.
She told me
No.
that 6 people
Or was it
were living
Salus,
at Jesse's
Salus,
house,
Arkansas.
learn budgeting
think it was
skills, how to hold a job, and get their GED, and helping them work through mental health struggles. One of Jesse's House residents, she says that her name is Gillian Rowe, and in the short few months she's lived there, she says they're making connections and saving money they didn't have before.
Yep. You can see all that energy coming in. There's Salus right there. Oh yeah, you're very close to that storm.
Well, if you want to help Jesse's House mission, Holland says there are in need of donations right now. They're looking for hygienic products such as paper towels, soap, shampoo, and deodorant, and gender-affirming clothes for people who are transitioning, such as large women's clothing and small men's items. They're also looking for volunteers to be mentors for the residents, since many might not have family they can rely on. You can find all this information right now on our website, fox24news.tv. Time now is 7:41 on this Wednesday morning, and it has been a busy start for everyone, but it looks like the clouds are starting to clear and the sun is trying to peek out. We're going to have a look at the forecast plus your sports coming up after the quick break.
All righty.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, look at that.
zooming in on the Giga Chad there.
Yeah.
Flex.
Flex for them.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Guns.
Flex on them haters.
Guns. Storm chaser ties.
Batteries were dead. It always happens. I hate that for you.
Speaking of batteries are dead. Right here. Josh is falling. Hey.
So
still zooming in on the Giga
and look,
Chad.
it wants a Giga Chad.
Yeah.
It wants those muscles. I mean, I'm trying to think right now, Dan. I was here yesterday, Tuesday morning.
Yeah, doing blogs,
2:30 a.m.
knocking them
12:30
out.
p.m. I got 2 hours of sleep. Then I came back at 2:00 p.m. yesterday,
man.
and overlapped 2:30 a.m. today.
Running on fumes.
The Baja Blast is the fuel is running out there.
So we show the tornado video. Did you send it? Did you email it? If you did email it, I'll check it out here and see. We could show that. Let me see if she sent it here. I don't see it yet. And you can't see it on Messenger. You can't make it full screen anymore. Oh wait, yep. Oh, she did send it.
So is there a possibility that we're gonna have to go back to wall?
Nope. Dude.
Again?
0%.
Nope.
0% chance.
Because I gotta dip after the shows are over.
Yeah, I'm dipping too.
You got a dip?
Ciao.
Oh yeah. Now you can see it.
Still checking social media, Crystal, and haven't seen any damage.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. Was the hail big enough to cause any car damage? Any little dings?
Some of it.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't 2-inch all over though, like mass chaos 2-inch. Okay, here we go. I got it loaded. I know this isn't as structured and yeah, it's emailed. There it is. That looks pretty suspicious right there. That is
Yeah, it's
definitely a
definitely a
lowering.
tornado. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got
That's a
that's got a look of it for sure, and that's the circulation. So pretty impressive right there. I will play it for you. No, you can't see
Can't
it.
see it that good. There it is.
New warning. Stop it. Way too much of a reflection, man. Golly. Very good though. You can definitely see that. That was in Oak Grove, which is in northeastern Carroll County. That was from that storm earlier. You can show it too if you want to. You want to do a little radar tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and go back to those SRX screens. So we've got new severe thunderstorm warning that was just now issued.
Is it for Scott County?
No, thankfully. That's the new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Johnson, Newton, and Polk counties, and that goes until 8:15 a.m. It's for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Of course, that's how the good news is, guys. The
No
tornado possible
tag. Yeah.
has been dropped on that one. There's also a new severe thunderstorm warning, I believe, that was just chopped up here. Yes, at 8:15 a.m. in Franklin County as well. So kind of two areas of that severe thunderstorm warning. Other than that, though, it's pretty much done. Pretty much wrapping up right now.
Yeah, a little bit of hail here and there. Nothing super major. So, all right, guys. Well, that about does it. Let me ask you, Desiree, do I have permission to post that on social media? And who is the video from? Is it from you?
You know,
Like, did you take it? What?
You just now got an email.
About
it's a very
the-
important one.
Is it the?
It's about MC Cumulus returning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just saw it out of the corner of my eye.
MC Cumulus is. Oh, how about another weather wrap?
How about another weather wrap?
And it says caution. Oh, my wife said, "Babe, I'm thinking about you. I love you."
Oh.
As she has a picture of her sun tanning, and I haven't had a chance to do that at all.
This right here, Dan Scoff. He's just the man, the myth, the legend in all aspects of life.
From your brother. What's your brother's name? Desiree? Because that was really amazing video.
That was a really good video. It's probably the best one we're going to see in this whole event.
Just a little critique, though. If it was horizontal video, it'd have been even better to show.
Yes.
On the air.
I knew that was coming.
Sorry,
Good.
Desiree. I got to give the public service announcement
Yes.
on the horizontal video, especially weather video. What I mean by that is take the phone, turn it sideways.
Got to see that whole cloud base.
You get to see the whole base. You get to see all the clouds. And what do I have all over my pants?
Who knows?
It's really cold in Rogers. I know. It is chilly, man. It is gloomy. Just let me know what your brother's name is, and we're going to shut her down. Boy, I'll tell you what. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really have some awesome viewers. And thanks for all the reports. That was Oak Grove, the video. All right, guys. One last. We're going to let Josh take over, and then we're going to.
We dodged the bullet, to say the least, for most of us here.
As you take a look at that Mount Sequoia cam, you can see those clouds are beginning to stream out of the area. Westerly winds have returned as well, and that means we're going to see cooler and drier weather as we go throughout the afternoon hours, even though we'll have mostly sunny skies. You can also see the back edge of that system showing up near the Bentonville Square. And temperatures right now are starting to get a little bit more chilly. 58 degrees being reported at Fort Smith Regional Airport. Look at those west-southwest winds at about 18 miles per hour. And the dew points are also falling dramatically as well. We're sitting at 53 at Fort Smith Regional, and that will only go down as we go throughout the rest of the morning. Take a look at those temperatures. You can spot the cold front here. You can see 45 degrees in Bentonville, 53 in Fayetteville, 58 in Fort Smith. So the cold front draped over the I-49 corridor south of the Interstate 40. But just east of there, Russellville sitting at 72 degrees, Harrison at 68, Clinton at 73, Mountain Home at 73. There is still severe weather potential, unfortunately, east of our coverage area right now, as well as in central Arkansas. And that's also because the fuel for thunderstorms is still in place there. You can see the dry line is pushing through the area now, so those dew points are going to tank. Could have some chapstick warning across our area with those dew points falling, and it will be quite dry as we go throughout the rest of the day. But look at those dew points in central Arkansas, once again in the mid to upper 60s. So that provides the fuel that is necessary for thunderstorm development. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go throughout the rest of the morning. I drive Arkansas camera over Interstate 40. This is near Ozark. You can see the back edge of that storm also pushing through there. And we're still watching that storm very closely. Here's a look at Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. You can see those severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect right now. We take a closer look here near Clarksville. That's where that one severe thunderstorm warning is as well. East of Greenwood, there's another severe thunderstorm warning. But again, the tornado potential has winded down across the area. This is a part of the cold front, and the cold front has kind of overrun those storms. So that's why we're not seeing any more of that tornado potential. Here's that severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for Johnson, Newton, and Pope counties. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. That goes until 8:15 a.m. Taking a little closer look here, just to the east of Ozark along Interstate 40, another severe thunderstorm warning for 1.25-inch hail size, and wind gusts are below 60 miles per hour, so it's just for hail, and that's in Franklin County and also expires at 8:15 a.m. But you can see that piece of energy that swung through central Arkansas last night. That's why those isolated supercells formed east of our area. The cap also held over our area long enough for those thunderstorms to not develop. But you take a look here, we dodged a major bullet. Those supercells tracked over those areas. Some of the same locations saw multiple rounds of strong showers and thunderstorms. In fact, we likely had a significant tornado that went through the Mountain View area. We'll continue to look at the latest information on that as we go throughout the next few days. But here in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley, we had a few tornado warnings this morning. We're going to kind of go with the damage survey on that. We'll see what the National Weather Service reports there. But future track here, again, show those thunderstorms pushing out of the area by about 9, 10 o'clock. It will be a dry afternoon, not expecting any more precipitation with northwesterly winds between 10 to 20 miles per hour. So it is going to feel quite cold as you step outside. You're probably going to want that jacket as you head to work or school tomorrow as well. Low temperatures will be in the lower to upper 30s in most locations. Not expecting a freeze, but may want to bring those plants inside just in case. Again, until we get into late April, we're really going to see that potential for cold air stick around. High temperatures on Thursday will be in the lower to middle 60s in most locations in Northwest Arkansas. Again, here's that latest severe weather risk. This is going to be chopped out with a new update, I'm sure. Still a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk with those remaining thunderstorms in far eastern portions of the coverage area, with mainly a wind-driven threat expected there. And the pattern is going to favor drier weather as we go throughout the next few days. Thankfully, it's going to stay nice and quiet. Could have a weak disturbance that moves through over your Easter Sunday weekend, especially around Monday. But that's then. Now we get to enjoy wonderful weather for the rest of this week. High temperatures in the lower to upper 60s. It will be quite chilly during the morning hours, so just be aware of that and dress accordingly. We'll have a warming trend as we go into the weekend with high temperatures in the middle to upper 70s. There's those slight chances for rain. In the River Valley, high temperatures this weekend will be in the upper 70s, and by Monday and Tuesday, we will be warming up into the lower 80s. Keep it right here. We'll have more news headlines with Perry and Crystal after a quick break. My stomach hurts.
So good, Josh. Like literally, I don't like you're running on fumes and just going.
Oh,
so that's
thanks,
really
man.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna shut it down here. There is one more storm that's coming towards Paris. That's got a little bit of hail. There's no tornado potential. We're running on the last bit of our severe thunderstorm warnings. That's going to be the end of it. It's much cooler behind it. And really no more significant severe weather for us. So that's good news. Watch QLCS start to develop. Nah, I don't think so. So anyways, a little bit of small hail. But again, thank you guys for watching. Very, 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 very much appreciate it. Severe storms are not moving into the area. They're moving out of the area.
They go.
And so, hey, thanks from all of us, from your Weather Authority team. This is it.
Yes.
We're adding a fourth here in early June.
Yes.
So.
Going to be fantastic to have a full weather team as well.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, you guys crushed it. Leading up to this event and tonight.
Our viewers, all the comments, they crushed it.
Yeah, great comments.
And that's why I love our viewing area too, because it seems like a lot of people are educated on these things. As
Very
well.
much so.
We're seeing those comments. People are picking up on things as well. That helps us.
Yeah.
As well. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in and for being prepared.
And then you can educate as well.
Yes.
We only had 4 angries.
Just 4 angries in a 4 hour
We'll take
live stream?
it.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
We'll take it.
Yes.
4 angries.
What about shocks? How many shocks? Yeah. Wows.
Wows. About a dozen.
Good handful.
Sad.
What about some laughing? Don't know if they're laughing.
Is it? We're not that funny. Only 6. Cares, a few.
Cares.
Loves.
Okay.
Whoa. Loves.
Only
Spreading
2.
the love.
Only
Spreading
2.
the love.
Yes.
And the likes. Quite a few likes.
We like y'all.
See you guys. Appreciate it so much. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.
I thought it was Saturday, Dan.
Yeah. It sure seems like it. All right. Well, take care. Have a good one. God bless. We'll see you later.